It's the most important exam day at the Awakener School. Students enter the dungeon to hunt monsters and earn points. The higher the score, the better the academy they will enter. Everyone fights desperately, pushing themselves to the limit and grinding for every point. But while they struggle, our MC Chammo relaxes and blissfully falls asleep. As time passes, his position on the scoreboard drops lower and lower until he ends up at the very bottom, and everyone begins to laugh at him. Then 1 hour before the end, Chammo finally wakes up. He pulls out a damn minigun and begins to annihilate everything in sight, dealing billions of damage by the second. He doesn't need to wait for cooldowns like the other students thanks to his passive skills. That's why he could just relax while everyone else struggled. In a matter of minutes, an entire army of monsters is wiped out. In one moment, Yanmo's score rises from the very bottom straight to the top. When the exam ends, Chanmo stands in first place, leaving everyone else in complete shock. Even the principal didn't expect him to score that high. The truth is, our hero recently found himself in this world, a world exactly like his favorite game. This new planet is Blue Star. It might look similar to Earth, but it was a victim of a catastrophe. About 100 years ago, an apocalypse annihilated everything. Millions of monsters attacked and killed or injured millions of humans. However, luck struck this world, and humans here are born with unique talents. As long as they face the awakening trial, they can change into a different profession and fight off the monster attacks. For that, the world works hard to create awakened people. But they also become the masters of the world. Our hero realizes that this world looks a lot like the apocalypse game he played, and he has traveled to a world where the game merged with reality. Our hero was one step away from success. But because of the talent cooldown time and damage limit, he lost to the final boss. Flashes of memories run through his mind of how he faced the final boss. But then Li Hong brings him back to his senses. The boy gets excited seeing that his friend has crossed over too. However, Li Hong does not share the same excitement. After all, this guy actually isn't that person. He is just worried about the upcoming awakening exam that is once-in-a-lifetime chance, and if he fails, his father will beat him. Shanmu realizes that his relationship with humans and living conditions seems different between the two worlds. He is a topper, with clever answers. So Li Hong asks him to help him awaken his talent. Chammo remembers the only way to awaken a talent in the game was to touch the awakening stone in the secret realm. Although the game and reality seem to be similar, and he has the game experience and skills, our hero is not too sure how much it is related, so he decides to confirm it himself first and tells Li Hong that he will think of something. Our boy heads to the practice field where the other students talk about their battle strategies. He heads to the entrance to see how much reality and the game look alike. As his eyes adjust to the light, he sees the novice village of the apocalypse game and realizes it's more than just perfect. Suddenly, the system alerts that it detects a host and starts binding the transformation system. The system informs that 2 eligible active skills can be transformed into passive skill. Our channel realizes that this system could be powerful if it's similar to the game, since most of the apocalypse skills are active skills and have a cooldown limit. They can be counter-attacked during deactivation, but the passive skill is permanent, so it has no cooldown limit and only triggering conditions. With the levels increasing, the triggering probability also increases infinitely, which is why it's rare. It was because of the cooldown limit that our hero failed to reach the top, but with this passive transformation, he can definitely make it. For his first ability, Shenmo activates the Ripple Slash. Using a powerful upward slash can attack the enemy in front, and releasing a split slash will cause multiple damage to the enemies in a 3-meter range. Chammo transforms the skill to passive, which gives him a 30% chance of releasing Splitting Ripple when attacking. The Splitting Ripple turns into Sword Chai to attack and inflict damage on the enemy. As our hero admires his new skill upgrade, a level 3 Minotaur appears behind him. It is considered a difficult challenge in the practice field, but it's the perfect opportunity for Changmu to test his skills. The Minotaur jumps at him. He swings his sword and throws the Minotaur flying. A blast goes off, but the Minotaur remains unscathed. The Minotaur starts attacking our protagonist. But as he dodges the attacks, he realizes he can't beat it in its super physical form. The beast lands a blow with his axe, but he blocks it as he realizes that the blocking triggers the passive attack. He uses the forced Splitting Ripple Slash, and the Minotaur gets knocked away. The hero realizes converting the skill into passive changed the damage system, and with this, he can now definitely make up for the regrets of his previous life and successfully become God. After training for hours in the secret realm, Chanmo gains familiarity with the battle, and as long as he knows the secret realm for tomorrow's assessment, he can help Li Hong awaken his talent easily. The time comes to choose another active skill. Most newbies make the mistake of choosing an attack that is not strong enough and has a long cooldown time. Our hero's first skill is focused on attack power, so he decides to choose a second skill focusing on cooldown. He chooses weapon switching, which decreases weapon switching cooldown time by 30%. Chammo then transforms it into a passive skill. The weapons inventory is filled with basic novice weapons, which solves his cooldown problem. Meanwhile, on the day of the assessment, Li Hong screams in excitement about the secret realm map that he acquired with his dad's money. They take a look at the Crevice of Flames map that Professor Lu chose. While Li Hong thinks its difficulty would be high, our hero knows that it has only level 3 to 10 monsters, so it should be easy. However, Lei Hyang has only managed to defeat a level 5 monster at best, so the back door is the only way for him. Meanwhile, the rich kid Mo Feng calls out Li Hong and tells him to give up on the assessment to avoid embarrassing his dad by losing. Li Hong gets angry and tries to confront Mao, but Chanmo stops him. Malfong continues to provoke Li Hong. The main lead takes his leg out, causing him to fall to the ground. Malfong gets offended, he swings his fist at our guy, but our hero holds his fist like nothing. On top of that, our Chanmo challenges Malfing that Li Hong's result would be better than his. Malfeng laughs at the ridiculous challenges and sets the term that the loser will run naked on the sports field for 10 rounds and call the opponent father 3 times. Everyone, including Li Hong, thinks it's a ridiculous challenge for Li Hong to go against a top student like Malfang. But then, the protagonist explains his plan to Li Hong, and he jumps in excitement realizing that Mao Fong will call him father. Director Zhang Lei announces the beginning of the assessment. All the students walk through the entrance and enter the map. As Chammo enters the Crevice of Flames, he finds the volcano familiar. He remembers the main monsters are evil beastmen and devils, and if he climbs up the volcano, he will find the final boss, Zalin, at the peak, while our hero cherishes the familiar map. The beastmen monsters appear behind him. They run to attack him with a blade, but Chanmo dodges it with a near miss. The beastmen surround him, and he realizes that before, he controlled everything with a mouse and keyboard, and now he has to depend on his physical ability. He knows that it will be one tough one against 5. But then the system recognizes Changmu's experience and controls and transforms it into his body's reflexes. The revelation shocks him, and he can feel his body being different now. The beast runs to attack our hero, but he dodges, jumps back, and strikes the beast down. He realizes controlling his body now feels the same as controlling his character in the game. Our guy draws out his sword in confidence. The beastmen start running after, while he devises a plan to lure them all in and take them out in one go. As the beastmen gather, our hero uses the slide shovel to escape. He then uses Ripple Slash, his passive activates, and the beastmen get knocked away. Killing the beastmen levels up our Chanmo, and he realizes using special actions can increase EXP too. With so many primary skills and weapons, he finds this more interesting than the game. Meanwhile, the students see the stats board and see someone level up. They're surprised by Chiang Mai's ability to level up twice in just 5 minutes. Director Zhang Lei sees his progress too and grows. Was eager to see what other surprises he holds. Chammo continues to jump through the volcano and he comes across some familiar monsters. He sees the shadow mages, and if he remembers right, they had a bug related to them. If the hero takes advantage of the bug, he can take them out with a big strike instead of fighting one by one, but it comes with its own challenges, and if our guy can do it, it will be a smooth level up. He uses his hook gun to climb to the top of the cliff, and then uses a small flying dart that hits one of the shadow mages. Tianmo enters the battle state as they start looking for him. The shadow mages are a low-level monster, so they only have 2 types of magic, shadow arrows and summon hounds. The shadow mages use their shadow arrow and start looking for our guy, but he remains away from their field of view, so they can't find him. They can attack targets outside their field of view, so the first step proves to be a success. The next is taking advantage of the time when they cast their magic, which is exactly what our hero does. He uses the flying darts and kills their hounds. The Shadow Mage's Hound. Summoning skill takes priority over the Shadow Arrow, so they can only summon their dogs. And it worked. The Shadow Mages can't lock onto a target to attack, and they have to summon hounds. So they will continue to do that even after recharging their magic points. The bug can lead to so many hounds summoned, and killing the Shadow Mages kills the dogs too. So this can help our hero gain experience instantly, while our hero takes a nap to let the hounds collect. The students check the scoreboard once again after 8 hours. They see Lo Jingjing switch her profession to firearms and be the first one to level 10, while Sun Ke becomes the swordsman. Director Zhang decides to take a look at Shenmu's rank, and as his eyes go lower and lower, the shock strikes him when he finds him at the bottom of the scoreboard. Some of the students think his level up was just luck, and he is not actually a genius. Director Zhang worries that at this rate, Qianmo won't even be able to reach level 6, let alone defeat the final boss and awaken a talent. With 4 hours left, the scoreboard suddenly updates, and our boy levels up once again. Here's what happened a minute ago. Anma woke up and found around 400 hounds accumulated. He took the Gatling gun and started firing blindly. As he finishes killing all the Shadow Mages and their hounds, he and his skills level up. The potential of the passive skills growth makes Chanmo wonder if he will find a passive with a 100% trigger rate. The students cheer in excitement, seeing our hero jump to level 13 in a minute. They think this can easily put him in the top 3 countrywide. His teacher, Zhao Erlong, proudly announces himself as his teacher. However, Director Zhang scolds him for overlooking such a talent, but also admits that he was ignorant himself to overlook such an esteemed student in the history of Zhangcheng College. Meanwhile, as our hero exceeds level 10, he has to pick a profession. He had acquired all the god-level titles in the Apocalypse game, and there was only one class he hadn't tried: Vagrant. This special class doesn't undergo any profession change and can use any equipment without being limited by a class's restrictions. This way, the combination of various equipment can be used to a nearly limitless extent. At the same time, he can equip a combination of equipment with the perfect attributes, but its flaw is that it is not lethal enough. The skills are plenty, but they're basically all primary skills. So one can speed through the early stages, but later on he will be dominated, and there's no way to make up for it with just skills. However, our hero's passive system fixes this flaw in the Vagrant class and brings it to its peak power. Moreover, the unassigned stat points automatically bind his class to the hidden class Spellbinder. Anger and rage takes over Director Jung as the progress board announces that Chammo chose the Vagrant class. He told Teacher Zhao that he was going to choose Berserker. Director Zhang loses all hope in Chanmo because he believes choosing Vagrant is throwing away your career. Students are disappointed too because although the Vagrant class allows one to use the skills and ability from any profession, it has the freedom and one can easily move through the early stages. But the problem arises later because you can't change professions, and all of your skills are just primary level, so eventually you'll be dominated by your opponents. However, our hero is happy with his decision because his passive skill exchange system makes up for the flaw, and he can rely on his experience and skills from his previous world to use the Vagrant class to its peak. Things get even better for Xianma when he takes a look at the Spellbinder special skill. With this, he can't actively learn skills, but he has to attack an instance dungeon boss to gain skills. Our hero knows everything about the instance dungeon, which gives him an advantage that no one else has. So Spellbinder is perfect for him. Increasing passive damage is of top priority, and Chang Mao decides to increase his attack speed first. With the new upgrade, he flies past the monsters without them even noticing. He realizes that it's not just his numbers increasing, but his physical abilities too. Right then, a special item, the Book of Demons, drops out of nowhere. He picks it up and realizes that he almost forgot about the special mission. He decides to hold off the final boss and focus on finding hidden items to unlock the hidden missions, with only an hour left as the time passes. More and more students start to approach the final boss, Zalila. Only when they kill the boss and touch the awakening stone can they pass the exam. One of the students manages to approach Zalin. He realizes only one monster stands before him and his achievement. The student runs with a dagger in his hand, but Zalin has a devastating skill, Sacrifice. This major skill can apply continuous damage to a single target, and at the same time, a weak curse lowers the attacker's base stat. The student knows he'll lose if Zalin releases his curse, but he also feels confident in his speed. However, the confidence soon proves to be an overestimation, when Zalin throws him away with just one attack. As the final boss approaches our confident student, he realizes his base abilities have lowered and he can't move. As the student flies out of the entrance into the examination hall, the students are left surprised. He was in the top 50 and even he failed. This year has become quite the challenge for the Talent Awakeners because previously it used to be a level 10 elite boss that one person could defeat alone, and Zalin needs at least a group of 5 to beat him. Although he has a weakness for close range attackers, no one can approach him with those guards. And this monster had been banned for 10 years, so it's quite the luck to have him against you now. After wasting time on hidden items, our hero manages to face off against the final boss at last. He notices the thick-skinned monsters are fast, but he's faster. Our hero slips away from the beast guards, attacks them, and at last faces the final boss, Zalin. While Zalin is busy using his magic spell, and as long as he's away from the beast guards, our hero has the perfect opportunity to strike. Xiamo runs towards the boss. Loss, and with just one kick, he sends the open target flying. He then thinks quickly on his feet, takes out the Gatling gun and starts firing instantly. Thanks to our hero's human aiming machine, he manages to land all 10 shots. As the cartridge runs out of ammo and the boss enters the frenzy state, Changmo uses his weapon switching ability. Finally, his skill selection has proven effective, preventing any compromise. He switches his weapon, scans for the weak spot, and shatters Zalin's bones with a sweep. This instance, the dungeon's difficulty is in the cooperation of the monsters. Zalin's base combat ability is not strong, but the protection of the two fierce beasts makes it deadly because once they buy him enough time to cast the sacrifice spell, they become unbeatable. However, with the skull protection lost, Zalin's brain is fragile. Our hero takes his spear and drives it through the final boss's head. Jingjing exits the secret realm bragging about her first place to Sun Kei. But as her eyes catch the stats board, anger fills her up seeing that our hero's friend became the first place. The other students try to console Jingjing and tell her Li Hong must have cheated, and Director Zhang has already called him to the dean's office because there's no way he can defeat level 8 monsters with his level 7. Meanwhile, in the dean's office, Commissioner Liu Yanman screams at Li Hong to tell him the truth. He explains he didn't cheat. But Commissioner Liu remains persistent because he didn't even know anything about the monster's appearance before, so there's no way he defeated the monster all by himself. He threatens to expel Li Hong along with whoever aided him in the cheating. He gives in and tells the commissioner that he begged our protagonist to do him a favor, and he showed him how to bypass the monsters with their limited field of view, and he told him that he needs to touch the awakening stone fast to use it. Zhengli tells Commissioner Liu that Chammo broke their historical record of quickly reaching level 13, but he has not returned yet. As Commissioner Liu sees our hero's recording of the examination, his eyes remain wide open as he realizes the power of their genius student. As the students gradually leave the secret realm, they think Jingjin and Sun Ke have finished fast, while the spectators wonder where Chammo is and think that he's a lost cause now. As Chammo stands before the awakening stone, he thinks to himself that he will be sent out the moment he touches the stone, so he decides to take the time to complete the hidden mission. He takes out 6 items, a book, burning obsidian, withered wood, a broken sword, and the hound skull. As our hero combines the 6 items to summon the hidden beast, a terrifying voice expresses its disdain. Finally, the great starved boss, Timon, appears. He is a level 12 elite demon race warrior boss who is pissed at our hero right now. Timon gets infuriated and starts attacking Changmu. Our hero dodges the attacks, but also realizes that this elite boss is much stronger than Zalin's team of 3. However, it also has a weakness, agility. As long as he restricts the monster's attacks, he can deal with him. Tommen gets more angry as Chammo tells him to go back to training. He runs to attack our guy, and as he gets close, our genius hero uses the sand throw, which decreases the enemy's hit percentage and field of vision for 3 seconds. Sand throw is not much, but it's perfect against enemies like Timon to restrict their movement. As Timon releases his passive overlord's control, the protagonist realizes why he's a hidden boss. However, our hero has a counter. He plants the self-detonating robot, performs a slide tackle to get close to the boss. But it's not enough to trip a heavy unit like Timon, so Chanmo hits him with an uppercut, which causes Timon to enter into a state of dizziness, and then he uses a dagger to backstep. Web followed by a front kick that throws the monster on the self-detonating robot. The bomb goes boom and Timon gets knocked down, but before he could even think of getting up, our hero followed with more dagger attacks with Timon being restricted. He can't do any harm no matter how strong he is. Chanmo uses his gun and blows the hidden boss to bits and pieces. The students scream in anger seeing Chenmo's name rise to the top. They think he is cheating because the ranking is arranged based on who completes the examination first. They think that's the only reason he is not coming out because he's avoiding confrontation, so they wait once the time is up and everyone is sent out. However, Commissioner Liu is confident that Qianma will come out before the time is up, and Director Zhang realizes he has never seen the commissioner so agitated before. With only a minute left, our hero still remains in the secret realm. Clearing all bosses has increased rewards by 30%, and restricting Taman increases his XP gain by 200%. Clearing the hidden mission was worth it, but our hero wonders if the Awakening Stone will still have any effect since he has already unlocked the Vagrant class. As he touches the Awakening Stone, he passes the examination. But instead of unlocking a class, his transformation system upgrades to level 2. Chanmo has 2 skills already transformed and can transform 1 more, but with the Spellbinder class, he can transform 2 more skills. He gets Boots of Travel as a reward for completion and for successfully killing the hidden boss. Our hero gets a Book of Critical Hits, which now increases his base critical hit rate by 20%. He takes the 2 transformation skills and transforms the Gatling gun into passive first. Now, any firearm he uses to attack will have a 25% chance of randomly firing Gatling gun bullets with a 100% hit rate. Chammo is delighted with this upgrade because now he can save effort or even fight against high-level monsters easily. Usually, when fighting against same-level monsters, all the attributes are suppressed, especially the hit rate and critical hit rate, which can lead to you getting killed by the monster first. However, with this passive, as long as our hero is alive, he can take down high-level monsters. For the last transformation, Chano needs to choose a cost-effective skill to transform. He transforms the Wide Sweep, which now has a 10% chance of knocking down all enemies within a 10-meter range. Unlike the airborne skill, Wide Sweep needs very little energy, and with its wide range attack, knocking down multiple enemies becomes easy. Chamo checks his stats and finds his combat power at almost 10,000. He realizes that once he begins his journey to the mainland, he will have a fighting chance. He exits the secret realm. The entrance starts to glow a blinding bright light. And our Qianmo steps out. Commissioner Liu is shocked to see that he succeeded. However, the other students display their anger towards our boy. They demand from the commissioner to invalidate his results and kick out Chengmu and Li Hong. Commissioner Liu approaches the entrance hall, and on his order, the students get quiet at once. Commissioner Liu cheers in excitement when our guy tells him he passed, but Unkei, Jingjing, and the other students think something is wrong because someone who comes out last can't be on top. They demand proof, and Commissioner Liu tells them they're narrow-minded. He reveals that the reason he is first is because he's the only one who defeated the hidden level 12 boss. The students are left surprised because they didn't know about any hidden boss and never learned about it from any of the textbooks. Suddenly, Zhueyin, the rocket class teacher, walks in. She also thinks that a weak student getting first place is an insult and he is cheating. She asks Chammo to tell everyone how he found out about the hidden boss. Yet another surprise strikes everyone when he refuses to tell her. The students can't believe he just said no to Zhuei. Chin and humiliated her because she's the youngest rocket class teacher and is always forceful with what she wants. Suddenly, Sun Kei steps forward with his sword in his hand. He challenges Chammo to a duel. While everyone cheers for Sun Kei and tells him to teach our hero a lesson, the question is their second strongest even a worthy opponent for our hero? Chammo asks Sun Kei if he's even worthy of a duel that offends his student pets. They think someone as strong as Sun Kai challenging our hero is thinking highly of him. But then, Jingjing steps forward saying the protagonist wouldn't mind if she joined too since he's so confident. But Jingjing almost cries when our guy refuses to even acknowledge who she is. His opponent gets offended by his behavior and challenges our boy to an arena duel to teach him a lesson. The arena is a battleground for awakeners, so refusing would mean having your reputation destroyed. But if he accepts, and if he really cheated, then he's bound to lose to his rival. Chammo confidently agrees to help Sun Kei in his demise. Commissioner Liu sees our boy's temper and decides to take this chance to check out his real strength. After the duel is accepted by both parties, Commissioner Liu creates the site. He touches the ground and a huge block rises from underneath. Old Chammo tells Sun Kei to stop wasting time and runs to the top of the site. His opponent gets offended by the condescending behavior. He uses his pinnacle speed, which momentarily increases his movement and attack speed by 50%. The students cheer in excitement seeing Sun Kei's innate talent. In an insulting tone, he calls Argya Yapper and runs at him with his sword. Xiamo dodges the attack without any effort. The students remain shocked seeing how he dodged such a quick attack. They wonder if the transformation also increased his agility. Meanwhile, Sun Kai thinks it was luck that he dodged the attack. He charges for his combo, Chenmo uses his wide sweep, Sun Kai uses his skill charge. Our guy retaliates with an uppercut and rises in the air. The boy's rival uses displacement and follows with a plunging strike. He thinks he's won as our guy approaches him. A loud blast goes off. The spectators think Sun Kei won, and he also thinks there's no way the main lead dodged that. But then, Chammo emerges out of nowhere and kicks him away, leaving everyone surprised. His passive activates. And he reminds Sun Kei that his pinnacle speed is a tortoise compared to his near 100 agility. Teacher Shui is surprised that everything ended so quickly. A genius like Sun Kei was defeated within 30 seconds. Chammo turns to Jingjing and asks if she wants to fight, but Jingjing accepts that she's not worthy of him. The students instantly switch sides with the victorious. They start to simp over our hero and his strength. Jingjing, who first despised our MC, is all of a sudden drawn to him. Commissioner Liu realizes that with his reaction time and skill timing, he is stronger than he was when he was younger, and he can even become a 5th-tier god. He realizes that they need to keep Old Changmao in Jiang Changmao at all costs. Commissioner Liu announces 1 million Blue Star currency as a reward for the main lead's outstanding performance and gives him the title of Heaven's Pride Student. The title's announcement leaves everyone shocked, which makes Chanmo realize it means something and he wonders if he can exchange it for money. Director Zhang realizes it's been more than 20 years since the last Heaven's Pride student, and that student is already a 4th-tier professional, where the average awakener might only become a 2nd-tier professional, and the entire Jiang Chammo Education Committee has Liu and some others as 3rd tier. Giving this title to Chan Imo means he can at least become a 4th-tier professional. Meanwhile, Teacher Shui realizes if she reels the future 4th-tier professional into rocket class and becomes his teacher, she can make a name for herself. Teacher Shui approaches our hero and asks him to be the class monitor of the rocket class and offers to give him private tutoring before exams. The students scream in excitement and jealousy because it was their dream to be privately tutored by Shui Qin. However, he tells her that she or anyone in the school can't teach him There is no vagrant here. Teacher's UHN gets offended that a level 14 student told her she can't teach him, but Commissioner Liu tells her that no one can cross the class barrier and be a good teacher. Everyone abandons their primary skills after class change, and they don't have any experience with the combos and skills of the vagrant class. There's no one throughout the country who can teach Qianmo, and he must face this journey alone. Commissioner Liu tells Chanmo that his journey is going to be filled with challenges, and he hopes that he won't regret this decision. Our guy assures him that he won't regret it because he chose this class, and what he doesn't know is that he has the passive transformation system to support him. Since the school does not have any teachers for Chanmo, Commissioner Liu allows him to self-study and tells him he looks forward to his performance during the unified examination that is about to happen in a month. The unified examination is for the country to filter through the Awakeners and find geniuses. All the Awakeners throughout the country gather for a showdown at a designated time. Afterwards, participants will receive resources and rewards based on their placement. The students simp over Chanmo's unprecedented achievement of gaining permission for self-study, but he wants one other thing, the 1 million blue star currency. Meanwhile, the press starts publishing about the feats of the Heavens Pride student. The media asks Director Zhang about Chanmo's future plans and asks to interview him, but Director Zhang tells them that he is not currently at the school. At the Apocalypse Management Association, our boy goes through the processes needed to enter the apocalypse. 100 years ago, when the monsters first descended onto the blue star from the void, after nearly killing the human race to the point of extinction, they left on their own. In order to fight against this calamity, the humans noticed the mainland of the apocalypse through the crack in the void from where the monsters had entered, and they discovered a way to freely enter. Soon began the frenzied era of the entire world entering the mainland of apocalypse. The mainland gradually became a battlefield for the awakeners of all countries. Only awakeners with great talent establish themselves here. In comparison to the simulated school area, a lot more can be done in this zone. Our hero's most important goal is to quickly reach level 20 and use absolute strength to pass the unified exam. As he teleports to the shattered archipelago, Chanmo gets taken away by nostalgia after seeing how similar it is to the game. Some newbies invite him to join them for monster hunts, which is a common practice among newbies to level up. But our hero has knowledge of his previous world, and he can find the best hidden missions with the best cost-reward ratio. Our boy reaches a deserted and dilapidated village where he finds what he was looking for. This villager who was fishing the other day saw a humongous dark shadow, but no one believed him, and he wonders if there's anyone who can help him prove it. The hero finds the mission of disappearing dark shadow. No one other than Chanmo can find this mission, and it not just gives a lot of experience, but also grants additional rewards for gaining extremely useful novice weapons. Meanwhile, at the disastrous beach, a core monster killing spot renowned for mutant sea turtles, a group of people hunt monsters when one of them strikes his own people with a molten fireball. They call out Ding Hong for openly breaking rules, stealing monsters, and hunting others. Ding Hong takes over the beach and tells them the monsters on their side belong to them. Huang Tan gets furious because the beach is public property. Ding Hong threatens them if they don't back down. Huang Tian's friends try to convince him and drag him away because they're no match for Ding Hong. But then Zhao Yan'er shifts his attention to another vagrant hunting the monsters. As they lay their eyes on Cheng Gao, they think he is just some garbage vagrant and run to teach him a lesson. They devise a plan to attract the monsters while the other two use snowstorms to steal monster kills. Our hero realizes they want to steal kills with the mage's wide area of attack, but he knows about the ownership rights setting. The first person to deplete the monster's energy by a set amount will gain the ownership rights. Under these rights, the other players killing the monsters will not get any rewards. Most people have no way to counter this issue, but our hero is no ordinary person. As long as he deals triple the damage of their combined damage, he will have the ownership rights. But he also needs to lower their health while leaving the aggro target unchanged in order to steal the monster. Characters, because once it changes, Chammo will be instantly targeted. As a close quarters class, he has no way to kite the enemies, so he will have to utilize their mage's controlling skills. He uses his flash step and rushes towards the monsters. The other players see Chammo rush towards the monster group and attempt to steal the kills. Dong Hong thinks our guy is way in over his head for trying to steal the ownership rights, and thinks they can get rid of him with the mage's wide area attack. They use the snowstorm to use its freezing effect to slow down the movement speed. There is a penalty for dying in the world of Apocalypse. When one dies, their level will decrease, and if the death count reaches a certain point, they will no longer revive. While Dong Hong and his underlings think Chanmo has succumbed to his fate, they start to hear loud bangs coming from the snowstorm. They are all surprised to see that he survived because the combined casting of a snowstorm by such a high-level mage is strong enough to kill anyone of the same level. Dong Hong orders his underlings to cast another snowstorm spell to finish the job this time. However, earlier when the snowstorm was beginning to be cast, our hero used his fast attack to trigger the passive Ripple Slash, and with that he managed to avoid the snowstorm's damage. Then he used the snowstorm's slowing effect to use the Gatling gun to shoot from a stationary spot, and with its 25% chance of passive activation, each bullet will have a chance of activating it. The Gatling gun's passive activates, and to everyone's surprise, Chanmo actually managed to steal all the monsters. They wonder how he managed to fire it continuously when the gun has an 8-second cooldown time. Dong Hong is surprised when he finds out that our hero actually managed to get the ownership rights. With the snowstorm almost at the end, Chammo stole the ownership rights. As the snowstorm ends, the mutant turtles start to die and our hero, the mutant sea turtle's tails. However, stealing the kill pisses off Donghong and he swears to make him pay. Wang Tian and his friends start laughing at Donghong for letting someone steal their monsters. Donghong tries to do something out of anger, but Zhao Yanir stops him from doing something stupid. She knows most damage was higher than all of them, so doing anything against him would be stupid. Donghong tries to leave with the hope of crossing paths with him once again, but Chammo stops them. Unless they want to level up from the start, he tells them to hand over all the items they have farmed. Sun Weijun steps in and threatens to fight even if both sides suffer. Wang Tian and his friends see the fireball and finally understand why he is a part of a top 10 school. They admire our boy's skills, but they think he's still a vagrant, so he doesn't stand a chance. Sun Weijun starts to cast the fireball, but Chammo stands idle, waiting for him. Sun Weijun thinks he's scared and can't move. Throws the fireball, our boy switches to boxing glove, takes the explosive punch and runs towards Sun Weijun. He uses the sidestep and then a flying kick and throws Sun Weijun flying. Sun Weijun refuses to back down, but then Donghong stops them. He takes out the items they farmed and politely hands them over to our hero. With 120 tails, he is happy he saved time and lets them go. Seeing old Chammo defeat one of the top school students, the players start to simp over him and beg him to be their team leader. But one of them is sensible enough to know that Chammo is here only to gain items. Seeing them chant for him, our hero realizes it's just like his previous world. Those with strength decide who reigns supreme in the mainland of the apocalypse, and for now, no one will bother him from gathering items required to complete the mission. Chammo still needs a couple hundred more tails, so he has to grind on. The next day, Chiang Mai finally finishes the exhausting task of gathering 400 tails, but on the bright side, he leveled up to using the 6 unassigned stat points on agility finally helped him exceed the barrier of 100, and with the combat power of 10,000, it's an achievement that not even a lot of new first-year students can achieve. With the items finished, our hero decides to get the novice weapon, Me and the Novice. Meanwhile, back at Malin University, Donghong's friends try to make some sense of him. They tell him they can't be too careless against this new student because his movement skills are too unusual. Zhao Yuren tells him she managed to find someone to keep an eye on our hero so he can't run now, and Sun Weijun tells him that the top 30 first-year students have also agreed to help. However, they have yet one person left. The provincial top scorer, Gu Yunfei. It's rumored that he not only has an S-rank talent, abundant magic power, but he reached level 21 in just a year and became the undisputed strongest new student. However, the problem is whether or not Donghong can recruit someone who won't do favors for anyone. For that, the answer is money, and if he says no, he needs more money. Suddenly, a fire blast goes off, and Donghong acknowledges Gu Yun, face skills. No one comes to the deserted area, so Gu Yunfei asks Donghong why he's here. Before Donghong could fully explain the combat, Gu Yunfei refused to join. He then tries to bribe him with money and resources needed to undergo class changes as Gun Yun. Fei is about to, but he still refuses. Donghong then reveals the truth about how he got humiliated by a level 14 student whose power was higher than all 3 of them combined. He tries to convince him, Gu Yunfei keeps refusing. But then, hearing that the opponent is a vagrant catches his attention. He used to think all the students in the province were trash, but he's delighted to learn that someone caught his interest. Collecting the tails was only the first step of the hidden mission, and now Changmao needs the best set of fishing gear, and for that, he visits the fishing gear store. Lucky for him, he acquired 100 gold coins from the 3 idiots the other day, and this saves him from the trouble of exchanging the blue star currency that he obtained from the school. The shopkeeper tells him all the prices are listed, but then as he lays his eyes on the customer, he thinks he's one of those know-nothing idiots. He explains to Chiamo that the most important part is to match the fishing gear with the bait. He thinks only a layman would ask for the most expensive product. Chiamo sees that the shop doesn't have high-quality fishing gear and bait, so he decides to get the exquisite black bamboo fishing rod and 10 high-grade bloodworm. The shopkeeper is suddenly surprised to see that his layman customer chose the best equipment in under a minute, and his tone shows that he's used better gear before. He wonders if his customer is a fishing expert, but at the same time, he knows there's no way one could gain such extensive knowledge at that age. He introduces himself and asks our protagonist if he comes from a fishing family. However, the shopkeeper is mistaken because in Chammo's previous world, this gear was pretty much the most optimal novice choice to have. The shopkeeper thinks it would be a good idea to have good terms with someone like our protagonist. So he decides to sell the gear at 10 gold coins to him, and tells him to come to him if he wants to sell some fish in the future. With the sea turtle tails and the fishing gear, Chammo heads to the beach. However, he still needs one thing, and according to his memory, it should be on the small island ahead. A new rare boss spawns every 3 days, and although the novice village is nearby, most novice players won't be able to deal with it, so there won't be many people there. What our hero needs from the boss's drop is the item that allows one to breathe underwater. In order to guarantee the success of the mission disappearing Dark Shadow, this item is absolutely necessary. Our hero jumps into the sea. But it's important to notice that one can only stay underwater for 2 minutes, and after the time limit is exceeded, he will take damage of 10% equivalent to health. So no matter how much health one has, he can only survive 10 seconds at best. On top of that, being underwater will also attract monsters. No one under ordinary circumstances dares to enter the water, which is why people are impressed seeing our hero jump in. The two spies begin to wonder if they should follow our guy in the water. The greed for rewards and the fact that there aren't many dangerous monsters in the area are enough to convince them. They decide to find a place with no one around and jump in the water. Meanwhile, on a small island within the shattered archipelago, the spies continue to follow him at a distance to avoid getting caught, because that much reward speaks for Chiang Mai's strength. At last our hero reaches his location, the lines on the floor start to glow, and as luck would have it, he found another novice staff. The sticky radioactive dust monster rises. Our hero attacks with his new weapon. The monster roars and attacks with the corrosive mud. Getting hit with the corrosive mud can cause him to slow down by 30%, and get a 50-point damage reduction stacked. One hit could cause Chammo to lose more than half of his damage output, so he continues to dodge the attacks. He switches the weapon to a longsword, triggering the passive ripple slash and deals extensive damage to the monster. The monster releases a radioactive cloud that can deal damage every second when poisoned. The monster has various skills that make it difficult to get close to, but its weakness is its slow movement. Our hero takes out his Gatling gun and starts firing. Passive gets triggered, he continues to fire, and at last, the monster falls. At last, Kenmo gains the water vine staff that allows him to breathe underwater with a E. While the preparation complete, our hero decides it's time to fish the disappearing dark shadow. What lies ahead is a difficult battle with the novice village's strongest hidden boss, and all the preparation was for Chammo to increase his chances of completing the mission. Then, while he looks out at the sea, he notices the spies that have been following him. He decides to make them wait and jumps inside the water with his water vine staff that allows him to breathe underwater. After waiting for 4 hours, the spies grow tired, but they think their target couldn't have gone anywhere because the vast sea surrounds them. One of them suggests going up to take a look because there's a possibility some monsters might have killed him already. They search the whole island and realize he's nowhere to be found. They inform Zhaoyana that their target escaped as they realize they have provoked someone they shouldn't have. Janmo goes to Shattered Archipelago's fishing spot to trigger the later part of his mission. He reaches the spot to find someone already fishing there. Upon trying, he can't get to know the stats of the guy. He remembers about the rule of low levels not being able to see higher level stats due to huge level gaps. He gets cautious when the man tells him that he'll make space for him. He tells him that it's good to be cautious, and he can easily take over him. Chiang Mao sits down and thinks that he'll fish until the man leaves so he could continue with his mission. The man thinks how Chiang Mao didn't try anything, so he must be sensible. After some time, Chammo got an 8-pound fish as he thinks how his fishing skills were impressive in his previous world. The man also compliments his luck as Chanmo gets one fish after another. After seeing our boy catch so many, he begins to curse his own rotten luck for not getting a single until now. He tells him that he's never met a genius like him and asks him to teach him some tricks. Shi and Mo smilingly tells him if few tricks as the man calls him admirable. He cautiously says that not only his fishing skills but other skills are also impressive as he tries to attack him, but Chammo quickly takes out his weapon and the man asks about him choosing to be. He answers himself that with his unmatched talents he chose the right thing and asks him if he can take him as Chiang Mai's master. He politely declines, saying he will walk this path alone. The man doesn't insist anymore, but gives him a ring to ask for his help whenever he wants. Our guy thinks how old people still use these stuff to pass message. The group chat to annihilate Chiang Mu and forms about his whereabouts as the students of Mulan University get out to finally hunt him down. The students exclaim how Dong Hong is leading in the front while Gu Yunfei is at the back. They exclaim how this is the perfect lineup to take down any final boss. Gu Yunfei sends the first group to test the waters with Chiang Mu as Xiao Zhong, a Stage 2 awakener from the Management Association, and forms Wu Zhong lay about their plans of capturing Chiang Mu. Mr. Wu orders them to follow him and report if anything bad happens. Xiamo continues to fish as he can achieve his prize once he hits the target. Earth Group comes behind him, provoking him to a fight. Our hero mocks them as he continues to fish. Ding Hong exclaims how he has offended Mulan University, and they will kill him until he reaches the first level. Just then, our guy takes out an unknown object from the sea as he brings out a hidden boss, Prince Nazjak of level 22 Elite Chieftain. Everyone gets scared as they watch him approaching them. Someone from the crowd shouts that they can overwhelm the monster with sheer numbers. As Nazjak takes out the front line in one slash, Gu Yunfei tries to take it down. Xiamo thinks how Ding Hong has used some of his brain to attack him this time, but he knows it's all futile. The three mages attack Chanmo as he takes them down with double speed and switching weapons, surprising the students. The boss moves into the second berserk phase as he takes down the mages and others in the water with itself. Chengmu gets happy even thinking that Nazjak has entered the second state. When 30 seconds of immobile invincibility remain, Prince Najak looms over the battlefield. The classmates ask Yunfei how unfavorable this area is for their mages, pointing out that staying underwater for long is impossible, and eventually they would need to surface for air. Some suggest abandoning any attempt to kill Chammo, reasoning that Najak would kill him anyway. Yunfei thinks about how unlucky it is for them to encounter this boss here, especially when Chammo is so close to achieving his goal. He instructs everyone to leave and says that he will be paying Najak a visit himself. Another voice orders anyone feeling uneasy to retreat, noting that their priority should be killing Changmao and ignoring Najak. The mages begin launching attacks at Changmao, who muses over their audacity to challenge him. He notices the countdown nearing its end and deflects their attacks effortlessly, then glances upward to find the monster has vanished. Suddenly, the boss enters its second phase, creating whirlpools that pull everyone toward it. Chaos ensues with many begging for help. Ding Hong tries to burn the boss, but his fire skills lose effectiveness underwater. Recognizing that they cannot defeat anyone with their current abilities, they decide to retreat. Their escape infuriates the boss further, and it unleashes freezing currents, trapping them underwater. A Sajin runs out, resulting in death. Yunfei vows to claim Chiang Mai when he respawns. That leaves only Chanmo and the boss. The boss lunges A at Chammo, but he raises a shield around himself. He activates Voyage Boots, a gift received earlier, to close the distance quickly. Switching to his one-handed sword, he strikes Nast, Jack piercing through it. The monster screeches. Says Chano switches to a gun and fires repeatedly. When Nazjax's health reaches 101, Chano activates Circling Shuriken, attacking the boss as it continues screeching and threatening him. His attack shreds the monster into pea. A notification board congratulates him as he upgrades to level 17. The reward excites Chanmo as he obtains the title charm of Epic Level. He considers it a new trump card, realizing this skill works on both monsters and humans. Now he is practically invincible when facing enemies of the same level at Junchang City's Education Bureau. Tianfeng opposes giving Xiamo a recommendation quota spot this year, arguing that he chose the path of a vagrant and lacks class transfer, so they cannot waste the spot on a student with no future. Li Tan defends him, citing the widely known unfairness of the quota. A man in glasses proposes a straightforward solution. Originally, the spot was meant for Li Daoyu, who reached level 12 during exams. However, due to Chenmo's sudden emergence, they must reconsider. He suggests a duel between the two, with the winner claiming the coveted spot. The fisherman calls Qianmo, telling him it takes ages to count all the fish since there are just too many. The final total comes to approximately 800 pounds. He laughs and asks if Qianmo is the fishing immortal himself. Qianmo smiles in satisfaction, pleased with the massive haul and the stream of gold coins filling his inventory. Just then, his eyes drift toward the television, where a breaking announcement flashes about Junqing College's recommendation spot. The fisherman remarks that it's the hottest topic everywhere. People are talking about how Jiangcheng College and Fengshua College have agreed to hold an inter-school competition to determine who gets the position. Shamo frowns, wondering why no one told him something so crucial. He checks his call logs and freezes at the sight of 99+ missed calls from Young Lei. He remembers how he muted his phone after the last examination to avoid spam calls and realizes his mistake. On screen, the announcer outlines the duel's rules. The contest will have 2 rounds, the first worth 10 points, the second consisting of consecutive duels for 20 points, with the last fighter standing claiming the recommendation spot. At the stadium, the competition begins as the announcer calls both sides forward. Jiangcheng College fields a team of grappler, mage, gunner, priest, and berserk. Oscar, opposite them, Fengshua College steps in with knights, swordsmen, warlocks, assassins, and mixed martial artists. The crowd erupts in cheers, discussing the lineup. Many recognize Li Daoyu leading Fengshua's team, while others notice Chen Mo's absence. Tianfeng mocks him publicly for not showing up, while Mr. Liu sits in silence, clearly tense. Li Daoyu smirks at Jingjing, taunting her that Chen Mo is too cowardly to appear. Jingjing clenches her fists, frustrated, wondering where he is when everyone is fighting for his spot. She rallies her team, emphasizing that they must protect the priest, since Fengshua's side lacks a healer. Their survival depends on it. The signal sounds and the battle begins. Jingjing charges forward, striking first while the grappler launches. An attack that the knight narrowly dodges. Suddenly, the assassin van, with invisibility, and reappears behind Jingjing, striking her down. She gasps, confused, asking why she was targeted instead of the priest. Before anyone can react, Li Dao raises his staff and casts Lightning Ball in just 3 seconds, stunning the crowd. It should be impossible with his casting speed reduced by 30%. The lightning hits Jingjing squarely and she collapses, unconscious. The referee calls for an immediate halt, warning that she needs treatment or she'll die. The audience murmurs in shock, assuming Jiangcheng College is finished. Tianfeng laughs, mocking Mr. Liu again, but Mr. Liu's voice stays calm as he says, the match isn't over yet. The officials keep trying to reach Chen Mo by phone. Things spiral further as the last Jiangcheng student is struck by a Fengshua fighter and sent flying. Before she crashes, Chammo suddenly appears out of nowhere, catching her mid-air. The entire stadium falls silent and disbelief. Life. Standing firm, Chammo announces that the match will continue. He draws his gun, aims, and instantly kills the charging enemy with a single shot. The crowd explodes and gasps and cheers. Changmu lowers his weapon, eyes steady, and calls out coldly for the next challenger. Spectators rush to check his status panel, only to find that he has somehow reached level 17 in just 3 days. Murmurs rise into wild applause as everyone praises him in awe. Lu finally exhales, relief flooding his face as he allows himself the smallest of smiles. Tianfeng argues heatedly with Mr. Lu, accusing him of doing something underhanded to help Chenmo reach level 17 as a vagrant. He can't believe even he wasn't informed about Chenmo's current rank. On the battlefield, Zhou Luqi steps forward and introduces himself to our hero. He mutters how unfair it feels that his teammates get to face rookies while he has to challenge Chanmo. He politely asks for a few pointers, and our guy replies evenly, telling him to make the first move. Zhou vanishes with his invisibility skill, but Chammo immediately senses him, using an aloe trick to detect the assassin's position before counter, attacking in a blur of motion. The crowd erupts in cheers, amazed that none of their instructors ever taught such a technique. Spectators from outside the school whisper among themselves, saying that Jiangcheng College must be channeling all its teachings into one prodigy to set an example and inspire other students to grow stronger. After a tense 10 minutes, the score evens out at 19-19. A member of Feng Shua's team rushes to the lounge to repurpose to lead OU that Qianmo has appeared and that he's swiftly taking down their teammates one by one. Lead OU jumps up in disbelief, thinking it's impossible. Back in the arena, the crowd roars in excitement, shouting that they're witnessing a miracle unfold before their eyes. The mixed martial artist steps forward next, trembling as he realizes how unlucky he is to face Mo last. Just then, Li Daoyu storms into the arena, accusing Chanmo of bullying a mere level 10 student and demanding that he fight him instead. The administration quickly intervenes, warning Daoyu that once he leaves the waiting zone, he forfeits his eligibility to fight. The crowd begins murmuring about Chiang Mai's reduced casting speed due to his rank. After a short debate, both sides agree that the remaining 2 fighters from Feng Shui College will face Chanmo together. Dao whispers to his teammate to rush Chanmo recklessly and leave the rest to him. The attacker charges forward, but Chano's side steps and delivers a swift, crushing punch that sends the opponent flying across the stage. The audience explodes in applause, praising Chenmo's skill. Li Daoyu immediately casts Lightning Ball again, and Chanemo narrows his eyes, sensing something off about the attack. Dao smirks, saying it's already too late for him to react. Xiamo analyzes the timing in his mind. It's half a second faster than it should be. The lightning hits, but Chanmo stands unharmed. Calmly, he announces that Daoyu must have used a second-tier blessing from the secret realm to boost his casting speed. Daoyu's expression freezes as he stammers, trying to deny the accusation. The crowd bursts into discussion, recalling how that special buff can only be activated with help from an expert, which counts as external assistance and is strictly forbidden. The audience quickly turns against Daoyu, applauding Chanmo for noticing what everyone else missed. They start shouting accusations of cheating, demanding an investigation. Liu points out that the entire match would have gone unnoticed if Chanmo hadn't spoken up and urges the officials to check the data. Furious, Tianfeng rises and calls the claim nonsense, saying that if even the elders didn't detect the irregularity, there's no way a third-year student could. He suspects that Chenmo must be hiding something himself. The hero responds firmly, declaring that he knows every skill from every class, and that's exactly why he could spot the irregularity so easily. Tianfeng begins arguing with Chanmo, accusing him of boasting about his abilities and overestimating his own knowledge. The crowd starts murmuring that it's impossible for anyone to know every class with such persistent. Tianfeng scoffs, saying that he'll personally test Changmu's so-called intelligence, and if Changmu gets even one question wrong, he won't let him off easily. With that, he fires his first question, asking about the insider's skill. The audience laughs, claiming it's pointless to think Changmu would know the answer, since the insider class is among the most obscure and least used in the game. Tianfeng smirks confidently, certain that he's finally cornered him. Chammo takes a moment to think before calmly explaining the will driver technique, describing how infighters rely on inner will to trigger combat enhancements instead of physical energy. His answer leaves Tianfeng frozen in disbelief. How could Chanmo possibly know such intricate details? The crowd erupts in applause, thrilled to see Tianfeng lose at his own challenge. Trying to recover, Tianfeng insists that Chanmo must have just been lucky. But before he can say more, Li Dao steps forward. He challenges him next, asking questions about his hidden warlock trait. The audience immediately starts grumbling that this is unfair, since such a question relies on rare, secret information. Yet Xiangmo answers with composure, revealing the warlock's hidden trait in full detail, the ability to convert dark energy into soul, binding chains that strengthen under fear. Li Daoyu demands to know how Xiangmo could understand something so specific about his class. His composure breaks, and he accidentally stumbles backward, tripping over his own feet and falling hard to the ground. The announcer raises his voice, declaring that the test is over and sighing that it's unfortunate Li Dao chose that path. Even Tianfeng, defeated and humbled, admits his loss. He asks the crowd to show mercy to Fengshui College, confessing that everything spiraled out of control because of his own pettiness. The announcer makes the official statement that Fengshui College is disqualified from the competition, and the championship title now belongs to Jiangcheng College. The crowd explodes in cheers, chanting Chanmo's name, while the arena fills with celebration. After the commotion, Chammo turns to Commissioner Liu, asking for detailed information about the secret realms of each top 10 university. In the office, as he examines them one by one, he frowns. None of them offer what he's truly seeking. Liu then mentions Shenyu University, which immediately catches his attention. Xiamo questions why it isn't listed among the top 10. And Liu explains that 50 years ago, its secret realms became overshadowed by other schools because they were too difficult to clear, causing students to abandon them over time. Yanmo listens silently, then declares that he will restore its former glory, choosing to take the entry exam of his own accord, rather than follow the recommendation quota. The officials try to dissuade him, warning of the risks, but he refuses to back down. He simply asks Mr. Liu to prepare everything he'll need. Meanwhile, a messenger delivers a sealed data file to Wu Zhonglei containing Chen Mo's complete performance record. As he studies the stats and achievements, an unexpected visit arrives from Malong University. When he gets there, Wu finds a crowd of angry parents accuse Changmu of being dangerous, claiming that he lowered their children's levels and ruined their progress. Hongshan, one of the representatives, demands that Wu hand over Changmu's data for further investigation. Wu defends him, explaining firmly that it wasn't Chammo's fault, that the other students provoked him first. Hongshan refuses to accept it and keeps pressing for the files. Wu, thinking fast, replies that he has already requested authorization from the head office, only for the request to be instantly rejected. Seeing the growing tension, Wu addresses the crowd, urging the parents to think about their own children's growth instead of dragging another student down. Hongshan eventually apologized for a second, and tries to smooth things over by discreetly offering him a level 60 black card as compensation. Wu declines the gesture, his mind focused solely on one thought, protecting Chang'ao no matter what it takes. Mr. Liu apologizes that even after doing all they could, they were only able to collect a third of the materials Chang'ao had asked for. He tells them that even collecting resources from all the schools within the city wouldn't be enough. Mo stands up, thanks them, and says he has a more urgent matter to attend to, so he'll leave first. They try to stop him, saying he looks like he's about to do something dangerous, but Chanmo doesn't listen. They just warn him to be cautious if he's planning something daring. Liu asks if he wants the materials to make some sort of equipment. Shimo replies that he will make an equipment that will surpass all the weapons of this era. At Fengshui University, a notice from the Education Commission arrives. It states that they will receive reduced resources and have honest remand for 3 years as punishment. Li Dao won't be able to apply for any university for 5 years, and all the teachers who were directly involved will be fired and permanently banned from re-employment. Others exclaim that this punishment will bring the downfall of Fengshui University, as it's basically breaking its foundation. An official sighs, saying that dark times are about to start for them. Just then, a messenger enters telling them that Chanmo has offered them a visit. They all get up to meet him, asking about his purpose and whether he thinks they haven't been punished enough. The principal asks if he has come to mock them even more. Shenmo answers that he's not that petty and that he has come to start a secret realm competition. The principal and the students are shocked, some not even knowing what Chanmo has asked for. He informs them about his intention. The rightful ownership of their realm will go to whoever achieves the goal, as the teachers criticize him for estimating himself. Chenmo then asks if they're scared and challenges them with a bet. He tells them that if he is able to catch their secret realm today, then they will have to provide him with 5 of the 20 materials on his list. The principal looks at the list and asks for a second question. Asks what will happen if he fails. Xiamo replies that he will agree to any condition they set. The principal agrees and takes him to the opening of the secret realm. They inform him about the total of 4 primary secret realms, and that if he is able to catch any one of them in 3 attempts, he will be granted victory. Everyone thinks Chanmo is going to choose the easiest realm to pass it quickly. But our hero chooses the Black Fathom Deeps, the hardest one. He declares that he's confident in his skill. The principal says they will broadcast it on big screens. He enters the realm, remembering from his past life that it's located in dark waters, and the monsters are composed of fishmen. Just then, level 16 monsters start attacking him. He fends off the attacks and brings them down while switching weapons. The students watch his strength in awe and admit how powerful he is. He moves on to the trickier part of the dungeon. As he comes across it, he uses a basic leap skill to move past everything. Leaving everyone shocked, the principal asks how much time has passed. The officials tell him it's only been 12 minutes. Tiamo comes face to face with the Lobster King. He boasts how this monster's stats are lower than radioactive dust, and that he has nothing to be afraid of. The Lobster King roared at Chammo, using his ultimately powerful powers trying to make him fall. The Fung people were making fun of him, that he didn't even analyze the terrain beforehand. They're excited to see Chammo get devoured by the frenzied piranhas. Now he's down, for he's basically in a trap that he can't escape. Using his ultimate skills, ledge slide, neck slide, he attacks Barton's neck, making him bleed. Barton thinks to himself that the blood will only be a disadvantage to Chammo, as it will frenzy the piranhas. Chammo thinks to himself, the fishes won't know that they are only attacking their boss. Seconds later, Barton screams in pain, that he's being hurt by the fishes. The Fung people, surprised by his intelligence and strategies, still think if he meets a dead end in the labyrinth, he'll definitely not make it. When suddenly they all are shaken as looking at the screen because of the path he is choosing, he is not making any mistakes in the labyrinth. He is using his master's ancient skills. The room is full of people thinking of how everyone thinks he has done this before. In just 2 hours' time, he has reached the final boss's room. He is just superior to others. The principal panics. Chammo finally reaches the final room, looking around thinking to himself, this won't be hard because of his current combat tricks. The students and the teachers are all seeing him with doubt. Is he going to fail or win this extremely hard challenge? Back to our boy. While surrounded by the level 18 Black Serpent Swamp, he activates his signature soulbinder skill, known as Hazy-Eyed Bremen. This ability weakens all the snake's resistance against any attack. He quickly leaps out of his spot and fires napalm bullets, drenching the snakes in a highly flammable substance. By now, even the spectators watching him realize what he's trying to pull off. With his wand in hand, my guy summons a massive meteorite. Crushing the snakes and letting the flames consume them completely, everyone is stunned at how strategically the boy handled the situation. Even the Manhwa College principal can tell this kid is truly a diamond in the rough. Back to Chiang Mai. He's now facing a servant known as Akumai, a level 20 Hydra elite boss. The servant immediately begins spewing corrosive venom, forcing our boy to dodge left and right. Closing the distance, Chiangao slashes one of the serpent's heads with his daggers, then swiftly goes for another, with the third head down as well. Chiangmu successfully takes down an elite boss that possessed self-regeneration abilities that our boy rendered completely useless. Chiangmu opens the stats. Ordering the box to open, he finds all the basic materials he needs for his mission. People watching his record are stunned he's doing it again. He's breaking the record and proving the people of Fung College wrong. Once he returns, he asks them boldly if they've seen what he's done. He's broken the record, leaving everyone in shock. The people of Fung College assure him he will receive the required materials in 3 days. He agrees and then asks about the other realm. With a smirk, he taunts them, asking if they'd like to place another bet with him. But all of them decides not to bet again, because they know they will lose again. But according to their initial promise, the principal reminds them that they can't say no to our boy's request. So the principal steps forward to make another bet. They promise Chammo multiple times the materials he needs if he wins. But the condition is to merge Fung College with Jiangcheng College. In the Tianhe College office, the Tianhe College principal shouts angrily, claiming Fun College is saving itself by taking advantage of Tianmo. In Tianhe College's office, the principal Zheng is informed about the protagonist's arrival. He tells Wang to calm down because he already saw it coming. He's aware that it's not a big deal for the hero to break his school records. The principal believes that Chanmo could never reach Secret Realm Hall. As our boy reaches the college, a faculty member of the college outside the gate known as Zhang challenges our boy for a duel, which is sort of going against the rules, but there isn't much of a level difference between the two. On the other hand, the office specialists are all trying to find Chanmo's weaknesses in order to take him down. Outside, Zhang warns our hero for the damage he's about to get and uses his lightning leg technique. But our guy pulls off a counter attack move, bringing Janked the ground effortlessly. The students of the college cheer and praise him as he makes his entrance. Another teacher steps forward, challenging him as well in order to finish his energy before he reaches the secret realms. Jimo thinks to himself that he'll finish this quickly, using ancient techniques. He shatters his opponent's soul in a single strike. The office falls into panic thinking, how can a student do this to them? They try to calm each other down and regroup to fight Shanmo together. But one by one, all the school's beast tamers and warriors can up to face him, and one by one, Yanmo takes them all down with his invincible powers. After all the teachers are defeated and lying on the ground, the principal begins to panic. Like realizing there's no way out, he approaches Chenmo nervously, trying to speak sweetly in order to save himself. With fear in his voice, he politely offers Chanmo entrance to his college, hiding his trembling hands behind his back while shaking inside. At the Young City College conference room, there is a discussion going on about the progress in the school's advancement that has been noticed in recent days, and it's because of the student Chenmo in the past 2 weeks. The principal has called out the conference to discuss a certain matter, which is basically to confer Chiang Mai with the honorary president title. He also questions everyone for the agreement and disagreement, and as there are no objections, he decides to hold the ceremony until Chiang Mai returns. The principal is curious to know that after causing such a huge commotion, where did he vanish without a trace? The scene then cuts to Apocalypse Continent, Lano's coast. where our guy can be seen obliterating monsters left in a alright after gaining up some stat boosts. He checks his profile with satisfaction. Chammo realizes that even after an overall upgrade to his passive skills, there is a huge increase to the damage he can deal, and because of that, he has to consider things carefully for the last 2 transformation slots. He has already plundered the top 20 schools in Zhong City and has collected all the material he needs. So for now, he decides to forge the weapon that transcends the current era. Chammo goes to learn the forging and equipment manufacturing, where he is instructed that the learning fee is 50 gold coins, and the subcontract fee starts from 100 gold coins, and if he doesn't have the money, he can leave without wasting time. Chammo feels that the price is quite expensive, but by looking at Zhang Lao, he doesn't seem to be greedy. As our boy pretends to leave while subtly flexing his blueprint, the old man gets curious about it and wants to see the blueprints, and he questions him where he got that blueprint from. Our boy agrees to give him a look at his blueprints, but instead he wants compensation for the fees. In response, Zhang Lao instructs him on the location of the learning book and at the end, asks him to read it by himself. After knowing that Chammo is an exceptional genius because of the blueprint, Yung Lao requests him to let him participate in the manufacturing of the weapon, and he provides him with all the fees free of cost. Shimo says he has 4 blueprints with him, and he wants Zhang Lao to forge them for free so that he can have a look at his skills. 2 hours later, Yung Lao comes back after forging all the weapons. He burned out all of his precious materials, and he still wasn't able to forge the weapons at their original level. They were supposed to be at level 50, but they are only level 25. Anyhow, our boy equips himself with this premium grade shit and can feel the power ups within him. We then cut to this guy, Wan Tian, here in the town to meet the old man Zhang Lao. As he walks, he reflects how skillful this old cute really is. Many people used to beg him for forging equipment regardless of the price. Suddenly, he picks up the loud yelling of someone. And that someone is our guy lecturing the old man. Naturally, Huang Tian is shocked to see someone lecturing the old man like this. He then waves his hand to grab their attention. Looking at him, our boy gets excited. Huang Tian is Chenmo's teammate from a previous life who had level 98. The old man notices this new fellow and insists him to leave at once as he is busy today. But Chiang Mao interjects and wants the old man to prove himself by forging a test weapon for this guy. With no choice, the old man gets to the work. And after a while, he presents the new weapon. This new weapon turned out to be great. With that in mind, our boy decides to finally forge the high-grade shit he came here for. At 2 a.m. in the midnight, the forging completes and the weapon emits a brilliant light despite being just in the first stage. The weapon is known as Thousand-Bladed Umbrella. Qianmo realizes that his base damage is 25% higher than in his previous life, and according to him, no one is going to expect a level 20 student to have a weapon with a base damage of 150. Zheng Lao is shocked to see such an exquisite design, as he took part in forging it. The weapon is even able to change its form actively. Dropping the jaws of both Huang Tian and Zhang Lao at the Razor Wetland, Shano sets up the remaining 2 transformation slots first. He transforms the Void Sphere of an Elementalist, which gets a high improvement after transforming it into a passive skill. When it comes to the second transformation slot, he wants to leave that for a status skill, but he's a little confused if the system is going to transform that successfully or not. He gives that a try and chooses a Dazzle Mark, as it increases the damage of Dark Element skills, and is going to work well together with the Void Sphere, and as the status skill is transformed into a passive skill, the time limit gets completely removed and even the specific skill for activation is no longer needed. People there discuss that Chenmo is really a vagrant and thinks that no one is going to form a party with him even at a low-rank secret realm. In the meanwhile, Hong Tian appears. People admire him, as he is the most talented sword soul in the country in the past 30 years, and they try to figure out that maybe he is there to set a record for the secret realm. Then, he goes on to join our boy. Now the people want to know what's so special about that vagrant. Before we proceed further, here is a little lore dump. According to the legends, the formation of the 2 secret realms is related to the ancient demigod Nijikamu. A group of Quillboars came to possess intelligence, and they became the believers of Nijikamu. Back to the main story. Chammo wants Huang Tian to have a competition, as they are both going to choose a path and see who can kill the boss and return there first. Huang Tian notices that there are more monsters on the left side rather than the right, and as for Chammo's safety, he decides to go towards the left side. But our boy takes the left side first and begins dashing down, with no choice. Huang Tian takes the right and encounters 4 boar monsters. He somehow managed to defeat them with his attacks. It has been less than 10 minutes, and Huang Tian is already at the 1/3 point of the journey. Meanwhile, Changao wants to give the monsters a taste of the power of his new weapon. His 1 round of firing used more than 50 bullets with an average damage of 170. And he didn't even spend all of his efforts in forging that, which is a kind of damage that cannot be done with some kinds of plugins. On the other hand, Huang Tian slashes the monster in 1 swing as he claims today's performance is pretty good, setting a new personal record. He notes how switching to a new weapon has boosted his strength significantly. He wonders if Qianmo is still fighting the minor mobs. He turns around and finds Shang Mu, who is not injured. He asks if he's back already, and assures him that running away from a losing battle is the smarter choice. He tells him to stay put and walks away to clear the path, only to find that every monster is already dead. He finds the corpses of elite Boormen and wonders if Chammo is the one who killed the high-level monsters, ones even he couldn't manage to take down. He questions if the level 20 player is actually stronger than him. He reaches the spot and asks where Agum, the monster who was supposed to be there, has gone. Chammo tells him to look up in the tree above. Wang Tan glances up only to find Agum's lifeless body. That surprises Tian. Qianmo managed to do so much in such a short amount of time. He tells Qianmo that he has gained his respect and asks him how he was able to do all that. Qianmo calmly explains that he too can achieve that goal and proceeds to tell him all the techniques he used. Tian writes it down carefully, taking notes as they continue facing more challenges together. Xiangmu silently thinks to himself that the development plan for the future #1 soul sword has officially begun. Instructing him about where he went wrong, Tian fights with more determination, noticing how Qiangmu seems familiar with every move he makes already, as if he studied him thoroughly. He comes face to face with a monster about to hit him, but Qianmo swiftly kills it off. Causing Tian to be thrown back, Xiamo taunts him, smirking slightly. As Tian praises our boy's sword skills and admits that he can't become freakish like him in just one fight, Chammo tells him that his instincts often overlook minor damages while he's fighting, and that messes up his rhythm. He teaches him that true timing is about accuracy rather than speed. Tian stands up, keeping that in mind. Tianmo further assures his friend that he will eventually become this continent's greatest swords god with time. In the next fight, Tian keeps all the teachings in mind. He waits for the right moment, calculates the perfect opportunity, and successfully lands a precise hit, killing the monster instantly. Tianix claims that Chiang Mai could easily become a grade director at the Blue Sky Academy with skills like that. Janmo offers him another challenge, telling him about a monster called Kalgar and its 4 unique skills. He instructs Tian to interrupt all its non-damaging skills and assures him that the fight won't take that long if done right. As he finishes explaining the strategy, Chenmo strides confidently toward the monster, taking out his battle spear. With steady eyes and a firm grip, he thinks to himself that today, Calgary's blood will sharpen his blade. Before attacking, he also needs to take the fact into account that this beast has healing abilities. He thinks his short-range attacks alone won't be enough to defeat him. To counter this, he launches an AoE attack, one that doesn't target a single enemy, but damages everyone within its range. It turns out to be a critical attack, significantly reducing Calgar's power and causing him to bleed. A system prompt notifies that a dazzle mark has been initiated, which makes Chan Mo grin with satisfaction, proud that his move struck accurately and minimized Calgar's damage output. Calgar roars furiously, proclaiming that he won't spare a single human in the name of his god, Nijikamu. He stops the ground violently, causing tremors, and begins healing himself again. Qianmo grows increasingly annoyed and tells Lao Huang to jump in now, as his mana is nearly depleted. By the way, we will be calling Huang Tian as Lao Huang because the translations has changed his name. The name of his god, Nijakamu. Lao Huang manages to interrupt Calgar's healing art just in time and smiles, thinking he succeeded. However, to his dismay, Calgar suddenly begins healing at an even faster rate, quickly restoring 1500 XP. Huang stares in disbelief, complaining internally about how unfair the fight seems. The two of them continue attacking relentlessly. Huang uses his ghosts to halt the healing temporarily, but Calgar restarts the process, frustrating them both. Huang unleashes a more powerful upward move, the Flowing Heart Slash, which disrupts the heal once more. They finally resort to using their forbidden techniques and critical strikes, managing to shatter Calgar into pieces. As he dies, Kaljar mutters praise for their strength. Huang compliments Chanmo's skill, secretly thinking about how Chanmo always manages to achieve such feats, and fantasizes about ruling the Tianqi state if they continue working like this, pointing toward a distant base camp. Huang explains that their next mission is even more dangerous. They must face 100 Boormen to rescue a wrapped goblin. He adds that if they succeed, they will break a record. Shanmo, ever daring, wonders aloud if Huang is ready for such a thrill, then abruptly kicks him off a cliff. Huang tumbles down, colliding with an elite foreman and spotting the goblin trapped nearby. He grabs the goblin and begins fleeing as an army of Boormen chases after him. As he sprints, he sees Chanmo building an ice wall to shield the goblin. While our boy holds them off, Huang asks in disbelief how he plans to take on all the Boormen alone. He, calm and smiling, claims he has gathered them all in one place. My guy switches to a 3-point machine gun and starts firing, bouncing back with the help of the recoil, while reaching Huang in just a second, confused. Huang watches as he suddenly switches weapons again, this time to his staff. Casting void spheres that deal massive critical damage, the spheres only last 4 seconds and have a 15-second cooldown, which shocks Huang. He can't understand how Chenmo is managing this and hesitantly asks what they will do if the enemies scatter. Janmo replies that mono management is key, and the bullets are clever enough to utilize it well. As the Boremen fall, the void spheres fade, leaving the battlefield in silence. Huang watches in awe as the enemies vanish like smoke. Jinmo then tells him that if he sticks by his side, he'll see even more miracles come true. Both of them receive a notification. They've broken the previous record and leveled up. Shonmo stands tall, his power growing stronger, while Huang stares at him in amazement, beginning to believe in the impossible. Chanmo and Huang Tian's record beat the previous ones as they completed the challenge in 2 hours and 14 minutes, making them first on the leaderboard. The other players praise Tian for how he's setting new records with a newbie. Shonmo obtained many items upon finishing the challenge and opened the diamond treasure chest. Acquiring the phantom cloak of rare level, Tian shows his items to him, saying he got the rare shoulder guard, then gets surprised seeing Chanmo's second advancement items, telling him the advantages of auctioning those items for millions of blue star coins. The goblin thanks them for rescuing it and informs them about the secret connection between the Boremen and the undead scourge. He gives them a letter and says that it has recorded everything in it. With that, he makes his way back through the portal. Tian asks if it's the legendary hidden quest because he has never stumbled upon it before. Chammo tells him that this quest only appears because they managed to escort the goblin in just 10 minutes. He examines the quest and says that their current level is not sufficient, and plans to complete this challenge after the new awakening. Chammo tells Tian that he has a place to show him and takes him to a wall. Tian breaks the wall using army breaking rising dragon strength, and reveals a cave. That surprises Tiana. Deal as he exclaims that it's an altar. He informs Chanmo that he has only seen it in textbooks, how awakeners can learn a skill from another class. Tian thanks Chanmo for how he has valuable information and is sharing it with him. Xianmo tells him to activate the altar to learn the skill. After activation, Tian receives Rage Burst. Tian moves on and says that he's more excited to know about Mo's skill. Chanmo wonders what skill the altar could give him. The system shows him a list of second advanced skills because of him being a spellbinder. He chooses the quantum explosion as he thinks about how his firepower will have no blind spots now. We then cut back to that old smith's workshop our boy is currently visiting. Elder Zhang praises them for their new record as Chanmo asks to borrow his anvil and furnace for his entrance exam. Elder Zhang gets surprised but thinks maybe he has the 3 days left till the exam, and with his talent and cultivation, he must not let a blacksmith delay his exam. The old man fears that he may not get sufficient experience in forging in just 3 days. Chammo tells him not to worry because he knows what he's doing and gives him Nijikamu's bloodstones. Elder Zhang tells him that the stones will be worth at least 50 units. He tells Chanmo that he can even create a miracle with them. You see, using these stones to forge weapons can help you earn 3 times the experience as the night descends. Our boy is done forging his new weapon. He forges an item as Elder Zhang asks if he's a monster. She and Mo smiles, showing off his sword. 3 days later, he learns intermediate forging. Elder Zhang calls him a monster, saying that in just 3 days, he learned forging and used the bloodstones to craft 46 finished products. He gets surprised how a newbie has a 92% success rate. Chammo tells him that he will leave the pieces of equipment for consignment and asks him to sell the items because he trusts him. Once he passes the entrance exam, he will come to find him. We then cut to the entrance exam venue. There, Mr. Liu welcomes our boy, saying he thought Changmu was going to miss the entrance exam. Changmu asks him about the number of people present in front of the company, to which he tells him that the exam is being held at Hanmu City's Central Gymnasium. He asks again why they are going somewhere else for the exam. Liu informs him that the city is small, so it's not tailored to host the exam site. He further informs that the test will require them to kill at least 2 of the bosses of level 20 out of a total of 4 bosses to pass, and the exam result will directly determine his future potential. He suddenly starts praising him and says that he has a surprise for him. They enter the main hall where his friends start congratulating him and praising him. Liu announces the importance of the exam and declares Chanmo the honorary president. The students stand by the decision, saying that he totally deserves the praise. Xiangmo asks why the organization is making a third-year student the honorary president. The Academy's seniors all agree that he totally deserves the position. After a while, Qianmo announces his pledge to never let the Academy down. Up next, Mr. Liu introduces a girl named Jing Jing, who got the admission slot our boy gave up. Jing Jing shyly asks him about the colleges he's applying for, to which his classmates joke that Jing Jing wants to follow him because she's into it. Just when Qianmo was about to answer her, he got a call from Wu Zhonglei to meet him. Before the entrance exam, the scene cuts to the EBEI province capital, Hanwu City's entrance exam venue. The parking lot is packed with buses filled with participants from different cities. Suddenly, seniors from other universities become angry. Seeing Jiang City Academy bring so many untrained students just to overcrowd the area, Gulian, one of the big shots, shouts at Mr. Liu to get his untalented sheeps out of here and leave the parking lot for the high-ranking university. Wu Zhongle comes around asking why the fight is even necessary. He greets Mr. Liu, shaking his hand, and so, pricing the other presidents, he asks about Chammo and takes him away from all the other students. He hands him something, saying that it's an apology from Malong University. Liu thinks that Chammo must have done something to make Malong University apologize to him. Xianmo mocks this gratitude but accepts the gift, making Wu Zhonglei laugh. Liu thinks about how Chammo benefited their academy once again at the exam monitoring center. The officials are talking about Hanwu Academy getting slapped by Jiang Academy. The president of Hanwu finds his best student in the second rank. They all go to check the first, only to find Chanmo on top with an SS grade. Surprising everyone, inside the exam venue, the students start entering the dungeon during teleportation. Chanmo takes his cloak out, hoping not to encounter another accident like Malong University, and initiates primary dungeon baptism. He increases all his butt. Uff says the people in the monitoring session all see the change in his grade become an SSS grade. All exclaim that he is the first one to have an SSS grade. Moro Egan is the dungeon everyone will be heading into. This place is contaminated with radiation, leaving it filled with monsters from levels 18 to 24 and machines. Our boy has finally been sent to the entrance of the dungeon. As soon as he is ready to advance further, he begins strategizing, thinking about how the number one boss will be standing at the ring, shaped flight, and how the stairs must be contaminated with rats, and how he has no time to waste on the rats. He knows that delaying here could cost him precious time, which might affect his overall performance in the exam. He steps inside the ring, shaped flight, with a calm expression, as if already knowing what's ahead of him. He lands in front of the boss monster and greets the monster as an old friend. The tension in the room thickens as the monster roars in response. He thinks about how the Vickers is slightly more powerful than the outside ones. He doesn't hesitate. He switches to gun form and starts shooting the monster with rapid and accurate fire. His shots are clean and relentless. Inside the Invigilators Hall, the teachers look at the screen to find Xianmo killing the Vickers fallout. They praise Mo, saying that it's only been 2 minutes. The Invigilators exchange glances, realizing the student is beyond expectations. One of them marks a note, impressed by the kill speed. The teachers say that they have to pay attention to the second stage. The tension rises as Xianmo progresses to the next part of the dungeon. The teachers criticize his action of rushing directly into a group of bomb bots, saying that the bomb bots aren't normal mobs. These mobs have unpredictable explosive patterns that even experienced students avoid. The president of Hanwu Academy laughs, saying that even an SSS rank is not anything much, and that overconfidence leads to downfall. Mo passes by the narrow passage without getting hit by a single bomb, surprising all the teachers with a new skill. The technique he uses involves perfect timing and positioning, which leaves everyone wondering how a student could be this precise. The bombs follow him from all directions as he runs towards the next boss monster, leaving all the teachers in surprise and anticipation. He activates the bombs as if they all blast at the same time, killing the boss monster in a brilliant chain explosion. The teachers all stand in respect. Janmu approaches the next boss monster as he thinks about this being Morowigan's trump card, the Slaughter Machine, a hulking figure of death. This monster has ended many previous attempts. He thinks that it is nothing to him and starts attacking the boss monster. His movements are sharp, fast, and deliberate. The teachers are all surprised at how easily Chammo is attacking the boss. His health barely drops while the boss weakens rapidly, leaving the other presidents in mock silence. Our boy is using a skill called iframe, which is very hard to pull off. However, while you are within an iframe, all damages and abnormal statuses will not harm you a bit. Shinmo attacks the crowd Pumeller 996. With an arcing smash, my guy then quickly transforms his weapon into a sword. The men cannot believe their eyes when they see him change the form of his weapon into such a divine one. They wonder if he belongs to some well-off background to have done this despite being just on level 20. After he feels that the preparation is done, he steps forward and starts attacking the crowd plumber to finish it off. Within only 24 minutes, he succeeds in taking it down and leaves the people in awe. The people start debating about what rank he would achieve if he changed his profession to battle mage. Xiangao is now facing the final boss, Mecha Moni Yorikarg, which has a huge army of mobs, which has made it undefeatable till now. He claims to need only 2 minutes to defeat it, and summons mages and spirits. When the people saw it, they realized he would use the summon army to deal with the mobs while solely focusing on the boss. By using his tactics and powers, the main lead defeats the boss quickly. On the other side at Hanwu College, a student Ma Xiao feels confident about defeating his enemy in 30 minutes. However, he gets the announcement of Chanmo successfully clearing the whole entrance exam in 30 minutes, whereas Luo Jingjing feels determined to compete with Mo when director Han Yuefeng of Hanwu Academy gets notified about the student of his academy failing and getting eliminated. He seethes in anger. Wu Zhonglei gets up from his seat and claps while praising Chan Mo to bless their country. We then cut back to the man in question. When he starts getting rewards, he gets surprised over getting a diamond chest, an S rank book, and an increase in attack. Lastly, he gets a radiation solution and pours it on the final boss face to get a Baldwin mask. When Chammo returns, people run towards him to congratulate him for becoming the Provincial Champion of the Year. As they continue praising him, he realizes that he is just getting forcefully painted as a patriot by them, since he could not do anything then to protect himself from the attack of the demonic beasts. He asks for the people who wanted him to fight for the country. When those people step forward, Chammo says he only wanted to know the faces he will be fighting alongside, since due to his own limits, he will be needing such people. He then asks them if they are also such great patriots, they must also be willing to expose themselves to danger for their country, hearing them say that it was just a casual statement since they are not as strong as him. He calls them out for thinking a college student is more eligible to put his life on the line than level 30 and 40 teachers. When Chang'ao accuses them of having ulterior motives, the public also flips out on the officials, saying they would complain to the Education Bureau. Just then, Gul In and Wu Zhonglei arrive, and Guoyan cancels the teacher's qualification and announces their affiliated college's evaluation to decrease by 2 ranks for 5 years. The teachers keep begging for another chance, but they turn to Chiang Mai instead, and Wu Zhonglei praises him and his accomplishments. He then asks President Guolian to arrange a private room for him and our hero, in which they later settle down. Over a cup of tea, Wu Zhonglei asks the protagonist if he has any connections with anyone higher up in the association. Xianmo coincidentally met someone while fishing, and just the mention of fishing alone is enough to shock Wu Zhonglei to his core. When our boy takes out the ring that elderly man gave him and puts it on the table, Wu Zhonglei jumps up from his seat in extreme shock. He couldn't believe that Chanmo got the ring from Elder Qin Feiyu, a level 75 or higher ashed heart. Wu Zhonglei couldn't believe how a close person like Elder Qin became friends with Changmo. When asked about him, Wu Zhonglei refuses to disclose his information, and just says he is the peak powerhouse in their country and advises him to always wear the gifted ring for future prosperity. The news channels are stormed with the accomplishment of our protagonist, and the Jiang Chanmo College's entrance is packed with vans of university recruiters on the recruitment day. The students talk about how even the top universities are there for Chammo. Lu Yunmin conducts the meeting and displays the list of qualified students of the current year to the recruiters. He asks them to enter the serial number of their desired students so he can arrange the interviews. The recruiters are surprised when they see Chanmo's score, and Maling University's director thinks about how our boy already destroyed his university's students. Thus he decides to let go of their enmity since he's quite strong. Lantian University's director thinks that the vagrant person Huang Tian was telling him about must be Chenmo after all is done. Lu Yanmin tells them to interview their selected students and then interview our boy collectively. While every university opposes collective interviews, Moling University's and Lantian University's directors agree. After these top universities, degree others do too. After the results are out, Lo Jingjing gets into Beijing University, and a large number of students get into good universities too. Leaving only Chanmo to decide his future, Chanmo enters the interview room, and Maling University's director is the first one to apologize to him for their past, whereas Liang Ten University's director introduces himself with reference to Huang Tian. The other universities flip out on the two of them for using their relationships, and tell Chanmo to just be focused on his future. The Qinbei University director asks to commence the interview and asks about his future goals as a vagrant. He answers that the goal is the start of an apocalypse with the monarch's arrival. The directors don't seem to like his blunt answer, and one of them asks how he's going to become a monarch when a vagrant profession doesn't have any further stages. He challenges them to try if they think a vagrant is not good enough. One of them gets up for a spar battle, and the first one to hit the other is decided to win. Lauren stands in front of Chanmo and claims to have decreased his powers to that of level 21, so he can be of the same level as him. The spar battle starts, and Lao Ren attacks Qianmo with a power that's considered to be strong, but he scoffs at how slow it seems to him, determined to overpower his opponent with better powers. Qianmo takes out his gun and attacks Lao Ren with much faster powers, which make Lao Ren fall back at a distance. Fully injured, the directors get up from their seats in shock and wonder if Chang Mao is a vagrant or a mobile turret to possess a unique silver weapon. The Moline University director is quick to realize how his students must have felt when they fought against Chanmo long ago, whereas Liangtan University's director wonders about what kind of weird friend Huang Tian has. Right after the spar battle, the universities start pitching their offers, each greater than the other one with huge benefits for Chanmo. The Shenyu University's director feels ashamed to pitch an offer, thinking his university can't compete against the top universities. However, he offers to provide him authority to all their secret realms and a fruit of ability which will add 5 points to each of his attributes. The other directors look down on him for not giving a good offer, but Shan Mo finds it the most perfect one since his offer perfectly matches his requirements. He steps forward and acknowledges the offers of all the universities. All directors feel hopeful. However, whereas Shenyu University's director sits back on his chair hopelessly. However, to his surprise, Shenyu University is what Chanmo chooses, and its director jumps out of his chair in shock and disbelief. We then cut back to that blacksmith workshop. When Zheng Lao gets to know which university our guide shows, he asks the reason for choosing a lower-ranked university. But Chenmo assures him of his own reasons, and asks about the equipment he had asked Zheng Lao to sell. Yung Lao says that all of it has been sold with a total profit of 920 gold, which he hands to Chanmo. He then asks him of his future plans before his school starts, and he tells him that he is going to Thunder City for some work. Zhang Lao then offers a golden ticket to him if he is interested in an examination to become a high-ranking forger. So he accepts it. Our guy, after leaving Zhang Lao's place, calculates his wealth, which seems to be enough to buy the materials for the flowing light, 1,000-bladed umbrella. Later in his journey, he defeats a red lion. As he is skinning the lion's hide using his practice technique, lifting the beast slightly into the air with the force of his movements. He reminds himself of everything he has done to get here. Before leaving the novice village, he had poured all his time, money, and effort into learning every available basic and upgraded secondary profession: herbalism, mining, alchemy, leatherworking, and skinning. Over the course of nearly 8 days, he has dedicated himself with relentless determination, gathering resources, training, and refining his techniques. His experience is almost at 90, and he is closing in on the max of 100, all through basic skills and relentless grinding. While talking to himself and admiring the fresh lion hide, he hears a deep, thunderous roar from the forest behind him. His expression sharpens, he immediately recognizes it. That sound belongs to Mazgus, a rare level 27 wildlife monster with a massive 8,000 HP pool. It is known as a moving treasure trove that only appears under certain conditions, and rarely, though difficult to kill for most average players. Those lucky enough to defeat it have a small chance to obtain a level 40 epic drop. Jumping into action, he dashes toward the sound, hoping luck is on his side. But before he can engage, he realizes someone else is already fighting it. He hides in the shadows and observes it's a girl. Her name is Ling Ling, and she is clearly struggling. Her level is only 24. And her stamina and mana are nearly depleted. She is launching attacks with her dazzling marks and trying to hold Maz is back using her lady's assault technique. Her speed is remarkable, faster than his own, but she lacks the strength to finish the job. He watches, silently impressed by her talent and effort, but also aware that she's in serious danger. Mauskus roars again, stomping the ground, nearly crushing her as she begins to retreat. He steps in, taking control of the battle. With efficient and powerful moves like Dancing Rod Combo, Rush Sweep, and his own version of Dazzle Marks, he launches a flurry of attacks. The fight is intense, but he manages to bring Mozgis down, shattering it into pieces. The system notification appears. He has gained an epic weapon. The Consonant Staff, a rare two-handed magical weapon with 11 spirit, 100 durability, and the power to deal high damage while healing 50 points against magic spells. He looks at the staff thoughtfully. It's a top-tier item, one he remembers from his past life. Although he can't use it yet, he knows it will sell for a high price. Ling watches him in awe. Her own level is 24, and yet she couldn't land the final blow. She asks how he, at level 22, managed to kill such a beast with such ease. Crying a little, she admits she thought today might be her breakthrough. He replies calmly, noting that her talent gives her great speed, but her skills are still unrefined. Surprised, she asks how he knows about her talent. She thinks to herself that how can he know I have an S-rank pinnacle attack that boosts my speed by 40%? Changao unfazed nods confidently and starts to leave. Saying he has business in Thunder City, she introduces herself and thanks him, but before anything else can happen, a red glow lights up the sky. The blood moon rises and a beast tide begins. Lingpanex, realizing monsters are now flooding the area, Shano acts quickly. Without hesitation, he lifts her onto his back, giving her a piggyback ride as he sprints through. Through the chaos, Ling feels embarrassed and flustered, unaware that he is trying to save her life. Spotting a hidden cave, he orders her to hide while he takes a look on the beast alone, but Ling stops him, insisting they can't fight a full tide alone. Instead, they both dive into the cave. Inside, they tumble into darkness, saved from the monsters outside. Breathing heavily, Kanmo leans against her. Ling blushes and scolds him, saying he should control himself as his body is reacting to their close contact. The tension grows, but for now, they are safe, together, and in hiding from the storm outside. After falling into the cave, Ling leans on him and tells him not to mention this incident to anyone. He reassures her and agrees. Then she asks for his name. He introduces himself as Chen. Oh, she questions his intentions, why he's helping the girl and saving her life, and demands an answer within 3 seconds. Shanmo becomes nervous, thinking how she feels like a little demon, bombarding him with endless questions. Suddenly he grabs her and they fly up to safety. Ling quickly covers herself, embarrassed that her clothes were torn during the fight. She yells at him not to look, and he turns around, confused about how it happened. He offers to fix her clothes, mentioning that he knows a bit of sewing. Using beast hide, he crafts a basic 2-piece skirt and shirt for her, warning that his leather working skills aren't great. When he hands over the outfit, she asks for privacy to change. While changing, she asks if he's really not some kind of bad guy. Chammo blushes when he sees how shabby the outfit looks on her. She complains about the quality, prompting him to make a much better-looking beast hide coat that appears expensive. She angrily asks why he didn't make this version earlier, accusing him of being like all other men, just as her mother had warned her. Eventually, they arrive at Thunder City. Ling asks where he's headed next, and Changmu says he'll visit the auction house. Ling offers to guide him there. Chammo, noticing her tattered clothes, promises to buy her new ones. Excited, she leads him to the clothing market and warns that she'll pick something expensive. She doubts he'll actually pay for it, but he reassures her, telling her to buy whatever she likes. They enter a luxurious clothing shop filled with elegant dresses. The shop assistant greets them, but after judging their appearance, assumes they won't buy anything and quietly mocks them. Chammo overhears her and glares at her. Ling holds up a dress and asks his opinion. He encourages her to buy it if she likes it. When she checks the price of 35 gold, she hesitates. Thinking she only has 150 gold left, Yanmo insists she not worry about the price and tosses a heavy bag of gold onto the counter, shocking the assistant. The assistant instantly changes her attitude, becoming overly helpful and showing Ling the newest dresses. Ling picks a beautiful two-piece outfit costing 40 gold. The assistant prepares to pack it, thinking she should have been nicer earlier to profit more. Chanmo inspects the dress and points out flaws in the material, questioning its quality. He accuses the shop of scamming them with cheaper fabrics and incorrect dyeing. The assistant defensively claims their quality is the best. Shano demands the manager, who arrives and listens as he details the expected composition. 50% silk, 40% mink fur, and 10% wool, and exposes their use of excess wool and incorrect dyeing. The manager is stunned, wondering how Chiang Mai could know so much, and panics over potential exposure. She apologizes sincerely and offers him anything he wants from the shop for free. Ling mocks the assistant, recalling how she insulted them earlier. The manager yells at the assistant and fires her on the spot. Ling laughs and continues happily picking out more dresses. The manager silently frets that the more they shop, the greater her losses. Eventually, Ling and Changmu leave the shop with 8 high-quality outfits, all free of charge. Ling excitedly tells Changmu how they got everything without spending a single coin. He explains the manager gave him 300 gold coins as hush money to keep quiet about their scam. He smiles, realizing his wealth now exceeds 1,000 gold since entering Thunder City. Ling cheerfully leads him toward the auction house. Chammo visits an auction house and is surprised to see how much more luxurious it is compared to what he remembers from his past life. His companion Ling, already familiar with the place, casually leads Chenmo inside and asks about the next auction and VIP room availability. The staff treats Ling respectfully, referring to her as a silver card member, and informs her there's one VIP room left. Observing this, Chammo suspects that Ling comes from a privileged background and feels no need to reveal his own black card. Their calm visit is soon interrupted by the arrival of young Master Wei, who demands a VIP room, but when told by the receptionist that the last one has already been reserved. Moved, Master Wei reveals a golden card, pressuring the staff. Immediately, the receptionist apologizes and reassigns the room to Wei, offering Ling the best seat in the common area instead. Although she's clearly upset, she's forced to step aside, while Wei and his assistant act arrogantly, pleased with how things turned out. Ling fumes with frustration after losing the VIP room, complaining that they had arrived first and were promised the spot. Also, Ling wonders why Chenmo didn't argue back. Calmly, Chanmo tells her not to worry and assures Ling that the real fun is just beginning. Ling is confused, especially since they don't even know young Master Wei's bidder number. But he reveals that Wei Junji is a level 26 elementalist, meaning it won't be hard to identify Wei during the auction. Plus, our protagonist hints that Wei is about to learn what it feels like to receive special treatment. After that, our guy pulls out a small, mysterious item from his inventory and shows it to Ling, to which her eyes widen in disbelief. And she can't hide her amazement because it's something rare. Herbs and orbs Ling has never even seen before. As the auction begins, the auctioneer, Wang Gong, kicks off the event with 10 stalks of Langzi grass, a valuable material for MP potions, and the bidding starts at 2 gold coins and quickly escalates. Eventually, bidder 414 wins the item for 15 old, and this bidder is the same bastard who looked down upon our duo, though slightly pricey. Wei is satisfied since Langzi grass is rare in such quantities. The next item is announced this time, a much larger batch of 46 stocks, and the starting price is 4.6 gold, and bidding is about to heat up again. During the next round of bidding, the crowd goes wild over a massive batch of 46 Langzi grass stocks offered at a surprisingly low starting price. Indeed, the bids shoot up quickly, but just as Wei Junji is about to join in, the auctioneer announces that anyone with the surname Wei is banned from bidding on this item by the seller's request. After this, Wei is furious and realizes that he's being targeted, calling it a conspiracy. Meanwhile, bidder 782 wins the lot at 60 gold, getting a much better deal than Wei did earlier. Frustrated, Wei is left stunned. Right then, Janmo and Ling spot Wei at his table, confirming their plan worked perfectly. Janmo cleverly reveals that both auction items were his consignments. For the second batch of Langzi grass, he deliberately added a restriction to block anyone with the surname Wei from bidding. Knowing how badly Wei Junji wanted the first batch, it was a calculated move to frustrate him. Additionally, this deduction also confirmed Wei's identity as bidder 414 and an elementalist. As multiple items come up for auction, Wei is repeatedly denied the chance to bid due to the same surname restriction and grows increasingly furious, demanding to speak with the manager to find out who's behind this scheme. Meanwhile, the final item of the night, a rare Saul rhinoceros staff, hits the stage. Moreover, it's an epic tier weapon with incredible stats, and bidding quickly intensifies. Following that, Wei attempts to join in only to face yet another restriction. Buyers with the surname Wei must raise the bid by at least 100 gold coins. Outraged and humiliated, Wei swears revenge. Determined to get back at whoever set him up after a heated bidding war, Wei Junji ends up winning the Saul rhinoceros staff for a staggering 840 gold. Using up all his savings in a moment of rage, Wei instantly regrets it, realizing how much he overspent. Chammo counts as profits, having earned almost 2,700 gold from the auction, clearly satisfied with the result. Adults. Just then, the auction manager arrives with Wei and his men, who confront the protagonist. Wei is furious after learning our boy was the one behind all the restrictions. He challenges him to a death map, while fuming with pride and anger. Well, our boy accepts it, and in the next moment they both are facing each other outside. Confident in his epic tier weapon and higher level, Wei believes the fight will be an easy win. Also, spectators expect a quick defeat for the underdog, but as the battle begins, things don't go as expected, and Wei is shocked. Despite all his advantages, his opponent Qiangmu is not falling, and the tables begin to turn. During the intense fight, Wei Junji realizes he's completely trapped, and his opponent Chammo is not trying to win with flashy moves. Instead, he's relentlessly targeting the Soul Rhinoceros step. At first it seems strange, until onlookers catch on that his real goal is to break the weapon's durability. Once durability hits 0, the staff will be destroyed permanently. Afterward, the crowd watches in shock as the staff's durability drops rapidly. Eventually, it shatters, and Wei screams in despair, not only having lost the expensive weapon, but also facing a huge level drop. On the other hand, Chanmo calmly stands over him, declaring that this is punishment for bullying the W. Then he flashes a black card, something so rare that most people in the room have never seen one. The entire crowd goes silent, and one person from the crowd finally recognizes him. He's Chiang Mao, a legendary top graduate known as the Monster Vagrant, someone not to be underestimated. Everyone is stunned by Chiang Mao's overwhelming strength and his strategic takedown of Wei Junji. Whispers spread because of his potential SSS rank, and he is likely backed by a powerful family from Xia country. Some recall that he's not just strong, but a top student known as the Monster Vagrant. His companion Ling Ling is shocked to learn he had a black card all along but didn't use it, to which Canmo explains that he wanted that bastard to fall for the trap. Though slightly annoyed, Ling forgives him, but just this once. Later on, the auction manager arrives and bows his head in front of Chiang Mai after realizing his identity. In addition, the auction manager panics and offers a rare material, Sun and Moon Demon scales, as an apology. He accepts it gladly, noting it will help upgrade his weapon. Meanwhile, Wei Junji is left in shame, having brought this downfall upon himself. Further, our guy then gives the manager a list of materials to keep an eye on for future auctions. Later, his companion Ling seems concerned. Plus, Ling mentions going home for a while, and wonders if he'll miss her, to which Chanmo responds sincerely, earning a playful warning not to flirt while she's gone. After giving him a sweet smooch, she is on her way. Janmo spends his day inside a high-level alchemy lab, using up all the herbs he collected so far. Thanks to the lab's 80% XP boost, he quickly maxes out his basic herbalism skill. It cost him 400 gold coins to rent the place, but seeing the results, he knew it was worth every coin. With all his herbs used up and his potions ready, he sets out for Nightfall Town. This place lies on the edge of Thunder City and is known as a nest for vengeful spirits. After sunset, those spirits grow 5 times stronger, which keeps regular players away, but for Qiangao it's the perfect hunting ground. As darkness falls, our guy summons all his allies' spirits, contract beasts, a goblin mage, and a puppet. Also, he splits them into 2 groups, one to lure every monster in town and the other to hold them in place in the central plaza. As for him, my guy plans to head straight to the central plaza while his minions gather other spirits there as well. Chenemo's plan is clear, and he moves fast. To reach the final room in time, he drinks a swiftness potion that boosts his speed by 80%. Following that, he races through the town, knowing that if he's too slow, his summons might not last. Luckily, he arrives just as planned. Moreover, his team have gathered the spirits into one tight group, and they're still holding strong. Without wasting a second, our boy lifts his hand and casts Ice Walling, and quickly switches to his grappling gun and smirks because it's time to put on a show. Moving ahead, the hero activates one of his most powerful skills, Quantum Bomb. It's a level 1 light element spell that targets enemies within a 10-meter radius. Not only does it deal heavy damage, but it can also electrify opponents. Even better, Chammo can choose where to drop it within 100 meters. With only a 20-second cooldown, it's deadly and efficient. To add to that, the bomb hits with overwhelming force, wiping out everything in its blast zone. Using a weapon like this in a low-level area is total overkill, like dropping a nuke in a street fight. Still, for Chammo, it's the perfect tactic, and he proudly recalls stealing that spell from an old temple, knowing now how worth it that risk was. That single attack alone earns him a 40% boost in experience. As the monsters' bodies pile up, he gets ready for the next phase because they will revive soon, and when they do, he will be ready to wipe them out again. Now it's all about grinding levels non-stop. After a full night of fighting monsters, Chammo reaches level 25. His stats grow stronger, especially his strength and agility, which are now close to crossing 100 points each, with new student registration just 4 days away. He decides to make the most of his time by focusing on his leatherworking skills. For 3 days straight, our protagonist stays busy crafting, not stopping until he maxes out the experience needed for basic leatherworking. Later, the hard work pays off, and just before school starts, Chammo upgrades to the intermediate level. When Chammo visits the workshop to get his new skill book, people around start noticing him. Even the president of Thunder City's Profession Association is surprised to see someone so young excel in both alchemy and leather. Working, others recognize him too, and they whisper about how Chammo is not only skilled in battle, but also incredibly gifted in crafting. His progress leaves everyone amazed, quietly wondering how they can even keep up. Chammo stands calmly at Gao Jin, the president of Thunder City's Profession Association, approaches him with curiosity. After that, Gao introduces himself and explains that he has heard of his impressive achievements in both alchemy and leatherworking. Impressed by his talent, Gao offers more than just membership and invites our boy to become a representative of the association. This position, ranked just below the president and elders, comes with big perks, including a permanent 15% discount at all shops across the Apocalypse continent. Many around are shocked because such an offer is rare and highly valuable. However, Chammo turns it down without hesitation. Gao tries again, hoping to change his mind by emphasizing the benefits and authority of the representative role. Still, Chammo remains firm, saying the position simply is not good enough. The crowd around him accuses him of being ungrateful because they can't believe the hero dares to reject such a rare opportunity. To them, Chammo's refusal sounds like arrogant. Moving forward, Gaojin tries to stay composed, reminding our main lead that with only 2 intermediate-level professions, the offer he made was already the best he could give. But seeing Changmao's continued disinterest, Gao finally backs off and thinks he might have misjudged him. Though he is undeniably talented, Gao worries his greed and pride might become his downfall, but my guy isn't done yet. Afterwards, he surprises them again and hints that he has more than just 2 intermediate secondary professions. This bold claim instantly grabs everyone's attention and stuns Gao Jin. He becomes intrigued and raises the stakes. If our boy truly has 3 intermediate-level secondary professions, then Gao will offer him the position of an elder within the Profession Association. With that title comes a lifelong 20% discount at all shops across the continent, a rare privilege. Xianmo accepts the offer with confidence. To everyone's shock, he reveals that his 3rd intermediate skill is blacksmithing, one of the most difficult professions to master. Onlookers gasp when they see his skill book. It's blank, confirming that it holds a new intermediate skill. Gao, already an intermediate blacksmith, wonders how Chanmo even found the time and energy to learn so much. Gao, impressed and humbled, admits that our guy's achievements in blacksmithing have already surpassed his own. Additionally, Gao invites Changmao to the Profession Association building to formally present him with the Elder's emblem. This symbol of status will command respect from all shopkeepers across the continent. Curious, Kimo asks about the Blacksmith Association's relationship with the main Profession Association, to which Gao explains that the blacksmiths have separated themselves from the main group, believing they are above everyone else, since the Thunder City Association lacks a true master blacksmith. They've had to admit their inferiority in that domain as they reach the higher management meeting room. Gao proudly introduces our boy to the senior members of the Profession Association. Also, Gao announces the protagonist not only as the eBay Provincial Champion, but also as their newest elder. The room falls silent and then murmurs of doubt begin. One elder, Qin Yongchang, challenges the decision and argues that combat talent should not determine professional status, and warns that bending the rules for one person will damage the association's reputation. In his view, awarding Chanmo such a position without following proper examination procedures risks turning their respected organization into a joke among their peers in the main city. Qinmo stands firm as the room fills with doubt and judgment. Instead of backing down, he calls out the narrow-mindedness around him, comparing the association members to frogs stuck in a well, and questions why they assume his talent in battle must mean he's lacking in professional skills, to which Qian Yongchang, clearly offended, throws out a challenge that if Qian Mo can pass their tests, he'll support him fully as an elder, but if he fails, he must leave the association. Our boy agrees, but points out the imbalance because so many elders are testing one person. Plus, he suggests a wager to which Elder Chifeng backs him up, promising that if Changmo passes, each challenger must offer him a reward. Later on, to help them craft proper questions, he calmly lists his qualifications: herbalism, alchemy, mining, blacksmithing, skinning, and leatherworking. All 6 are already at the intermediate level. After this, the room goes quiet and shock spreads across the elders' faces. Qin Yongchang even turns to President Gao, asking why this information wasn't shared earlier, to which Gao shrugs it off, leaving the mess to those who started it. But realizing they're in over their heads, the elders hesitate. Moving forward, Chammo makes another offer, that he'll ask 7 questions from each elder, and if they can answer at least 4 correctly, they win. To which Gao agrees and tells him to proceed. Our boy begins with difficult and technical questions, topics like manipulating metal during the separation and quenching process, assessing leather quality through skinning, and identifying rare herbs like ghost mushrooms and toxic swamps. The elders are visibly shocked, unsure how Chan Mo knows so much. Thank you very much. The mood shifts from arrogance to awe as old Chammo takes control of the room, one question at a time. The elders stare in disbelief as Chammo effortlessly answers the challenging questions. At first they assume he's bluffing with random nonsense, but as his answers reveal deep knowledge across multiple fields, they begin to realize that they're dealing with a true all-round. With the challenge complete, Elder Kui keeps his word and presents Chiang Mai with a rare item, the Fruit of Ability. He accepts it politely, understanding it would be rude to refuse such a valuable gift. One by one, the other elders also step forward, offering him high-grade materials. Afterwards, my guy is on its way. Counting all the useful stuff he managed to haggle out of those old coots. Among them are meteorite iron, poisonous dragon vine, and nether tiger skin, all items that would make even seasoned professionals envious. RMC takes it all in stride, recognizing today's rewards as a rare and powerful haul. Even better, the meteorite iron is just what Xianmo needs to upgrade his flowing light 1,000-bladed umbrella to the next stage. With school starting the day after tomorrow, our guy knows it's time to leave the Apocalypse continent. But before he goes, the system rewards his achievements. After becoming an Elder of the Profession Association and upgrading 6 different secondary professions to the intermediate level, Yanmo's transformation system levels up to 4. With this, a new feature unlocks, and it lets him turn the effects of one potion he can craft into a passive skill. Indeed, this is not just a small bonus because it changes the way he fights entirely. After that, his new passive abilities begin to show their power. All of the passive skills has been enhanced, making him more capable. Seeing all this, old Chiang Mai realizes that leveling up crafting skills does much more than just improve his gear. It directly boosts his combat strength, giving him an edge few others can match. After a major round of upgrades, Chiang Mai takes a moment to review his status. His strength, agility, and other attributes have increased sharply thanks to his new gear, and his battle power now exceeds 26,000. With 6 intermediate secondary professions and the transformation talent at level Y, he has become far stronger than before. However, though he unlocks a new ability tied to potion crafting, he decides to wait before using it. Janmos just stepped into intermediate alchemy and knows that transforming a skill too early might lead to regrets. Instead, he chooses to hold off and keep improving first. With his business in the Apocalypse continent complete, our guy returns to the real world. But as our boy steps back onto campus, he's surprised to see crowds of students and parents filling the school grounds, even though summer vacation is not over yet. Confused at first, Chamois quickly realizes the reason that he's become a school legend. Students rush up to him, excited to see him in person. Some ask for autographs, others call him their idol. Mr. Liu greets him warmly and explains that Chengmu's fame has drawn in more new students than even one of the top rival academies. Before letting him leave, Mr. Liu mentions that there are still some gifts prepared for him, hinting that his journey as a rising star is far from over. Before leaving for the capital, Changao is invited to a heartfelt farewell ceremony. Also, his school grants our guy the honorary title of Honorary President, and the teachers present him with a large banner expressing their best wishes for his future. Though the gesture feels a bit old-fashioned, it's clear they put genuine effort into it. Next, Mr. Liu knows that Chanmo has no place to stay in the capital, so the school quietly bought him a property worth 20 million. On top of that, they booked plane tickets for every available flight to the capital over the next few days, just to make sure Chanmo's journey is smooth. Grateful but knowing refusal would be impolite, Chanmo accepts everything with humility. As he prepares to leave, Mr. Liu reminds him that Jiang City Academy will always be his home, and that if he ever faces hardship, they will stand behind him without hesitation. With sincere thanks, our protagonist promises not to let the Academy's name be tarnished, and vows that the next time he returns, his name will be known across the entire country of Xia. At Oracle University, Chammo, a new student, quickly catches everyone's attention because his impressive physique and strength make people wonder if he's destined to be a celebrity. Some students are eager to approach him and get his contact information, planning to introduce our boy to the university's history. As they try to engage with him, Huan Yu arrives and takes charge, guiding him through the registration process. Further, Huan Yu explains how easy it is to get lost in the massive campus, and also offers to show Chammo around. Moving ahead, Hua explains that the university assigns students to classes based on their level. First-year students are level 15 till 25, second-year students are level 26 till 28, third-year students are level 29, and fourth-year students are level 30, or those who haven't completed their second class awakening yet. Later, at registration, the system verifies Chanmo's details and assigns him to a luxurious dormitory. Moreover, his level is confirmed to be 25, and his high SSS rank and provincial champion status impress everyone. The students are amazed, realizing that a student like our boy will likely overshadow them in the upcoming entrance exams. Also, they recognize him as the recruit of a teacher and learn that he will stay in one of the 9 exclusive rooms in the dormitory, adding to his already distinguished status. After completing his registration, Chiang Mo prepares to head to Area Z, where his dormitory is located, and refuses to take an offer from Huan Yu. Annoyed by his independence, Huan Yu silently vows not to let him slip away so easily. Arriving at Area Z, Chanmo decides to settle in for now. Since he just entered the university, there are many things to deal with. Also, Chammo has not had the time to check out the property that Mr. Liu and the others bought for him in the capital. Suddenly, Chiang Mo senses a strong aura nearby and watches a powerful technique being used, howling divine fists of Kaiser, and realizes he's witnessing a fourth awakening expert in action. Indeed, Chiang Mo wonders how such a person is still part of Oracle University, which has been in decline for years. On closer look, Chiang Mo also notices signs of a hidden illness in the expert's body. The expert, who turns out to be a teacher, approaches him and questions him, to which he confirms he's a new student, and has just been assigned to stay there. The teacher finds it strange that a freshman would be placed in room 001. Afterwards, he allows Changmu to leave, though he silently questions both Changmu's presence and the decision behind his placement. Meanwhile, Ling nearby teases the expert for secretly training again, and reminds him it's time for his medicine, to which he responds quickly, claiming his hands were just a bit itchy and agreeing to take the medicine. Elsewhere on campus, students gather nervously near the Hall of Secret Realms. The entrance exam is about to begin, and many are unsure how difficult the secret realm will be. Some hope to improve their rankings so they can earn better dormitories. Among the conversations, Li Junji notes how impressive Director Chen's recruitment has been this year, managing to bring in 2 provincial champions, including Chen Mo from Ab and He Shuje from Qilu. Among the teachers, there's strong confidence in He Shuje. Many believe he's the better choice, especially for the magic faculty. Although Chen Mo's level is high, some dismiss his class as weak, calling the vagrant class flashy but lacking real depth. That's why they are more interested in He Shuje, is known for its pure magic power, and even the war faculty shows interest in him, not willing to let such talents slip away. Meanwhile, He Shuje approaches Chiang Mai directly and introduces himself with confidence, believing that right now he is stronger. But Chanmo doesn't recognize him. That bastard doesn't take our boy's response lightly. Shuje quietly decides to let Chanmo be proud for now, thinking that once they step into the secret realm, he'll prove who the real top student is. Inside the secret realm called the Death Monastery, students are given limited areas to explore, like the graveyard and library, both suitable for levels 20 to 30. However, because of Chiang Mao's hidden class, Spellbinder, the system immediately unlocks the hardest difficulty. 2 new, more dangerous areas, Weapon Vault and Chapel, become available, meant for those around level 30 or higher. Here, moving ahead, Janmo enters the graveyard and remembers how powerful the hidden features of the Spellbinder class truly are. Since the first 2 areas seem too easy for him, Janmo chooses to move quickly and clear them without delay. Outside, the faculty watches the new student's progress, curious about how well this batch will perform. Even though only half the map is open, the final boss is already at level 28, which should be tough for most of them. They check his UGA's progress. He is currently in the graveyard, 40% through, and has taken just over 24 minutes, ranking second so far. Jay Shuji's performance is praised, showing he's living up to his reputation. However, their attention shifts, and someone notices that He Shuji is not ranked first. They check again and realize Chiang Mo has already cleared the entire graveyard, and it only took him 23 minutes and 33 seconds. Everyone is stunned after seeing this. Immediately, the faculties begin to argue over who gets to recruit Chammo. The war faculty decides to change their plans and go after him, but then suddenly, faculty notices something weird. Chammo has already cleared the graveyard and has entered a new area instead of leaving the place like other students. This shocks the faculty monitoring the exam, yet now Chammo is progressing through the weapon vault, which is marked as one of the most dangerous and restricted zones. According to the rules, only the graveyard and library were supposed to be open for this exam. The weapon vault and chapel weren't even included for today's challenge. Confusion spreads across the control room. Some suspect a system error or projection issue in the secret realm. Others start to panic, arguing that Chammo is breaking exam protocol. However, someone speaks up to calm the group and remind everyone that Chammo is not the kind of person to act recklessly. He must have a reason. Following that, Director Lee agrees to take the matter to the university president before making a final decision. Also, others warn him that the director's round trip to the president will take only about 30 minutes, and if Lee is not finished by then, no one will be able to protect Changmao, not even the gods. Inside the secret realm, Changmao steps deeper into the military weapon vault. The environment shifts, and he immediately senses the massive increase in difficulty. Further, our boy faces an overwhelming challenge. The mobs are all level 30 Crusader-type warriors, known for their high HP and defense. Despite the difficulty, Chammo remains calm and confident, already having a plan in mind. Chammo activates Phantom Form, allowing him to move swiftly and CL, all the explosives scattered throughout the vault. With everything prepared, he draws the enemies in using an ice wall, slowing them down and forcing them to gather in one place. Then, just as planned, he sets off a massive explosion with his fireball spell, and to survive the blast, our boy activates Ice Block, granting him total immunity to damage for 10 seconds. Just long enough to protect himself from the chaos he caught. Meanwhile, outside the secret realm, Director Lei Jun Ji rushes to President Ling Xiao's office, alarmed by what Chammo has done, and explains that he cleared the exam in just 25 minutes. But instead of exiting, he advanced into restricted areas that weren't even supposed to be open. President Ling Xiao, a powerful figure with a 4th Awakening Kaiser class at level 73, is not surprised. In fact, he already knows Chenmo's name. But when Director Li mentions that other faculty members are calling for punishment, Ling Xiao snaps, demanding to see the rule that says the hero should be penalized. After hearing this, Director Li becomes shocked and realizes that President Ling secretly granted Chammo an invulnerability privilege, a rare right only granted once every 5 years. Inside the vault, our protagonist clears all the small mobs in just 8 minutes, proving again how efficient and calculated he is. But now, a real challenge appears. Harold, the level 25 weapon master with 18,000 HP and a deadly skill. Whirlwind, an area attack that can't be blocked or interrupted. Xianmo realizes that this battle won't be easy because Harold's skill is relentless and gets faster as his health drops. Xianmo tries using voids. Fear to start off strong, but the attack gets deflected, showing Harold's strength. As Harold becomes more aggressive, Chammo knows he has no choice but to fight head-on. Moving ahead, he counters with strong attacks, landing critical hits and dealing steady damage, but Harold, now truly enraged, enters a berserk state, and his whirlwind becomes even faster. Afterwards, Qianmo faces off against Weapon Master Harold, a relentless elite boss with high HP and danger. Despite the pressure, he stays calm and relies on his stash of excellent grade minor rejuvenation potions. With each potion, he recovers 600 HP, while his damage reduction holds steady at 21%, letting him survive the worst of Harold's berserk whirlwind assaults. Harold continues attacking furiously, but our guy endures, potion after potion, until finally Harold is defeated. Exhausted and left with just 1500 HP, our guy reflects on how brutal it was to fight a boss immune to control effects. Suddenly, a notification reminds Changmu of his invulnerability privilege, a rare protection granted by President Ling that would have saved him from real harm if Changmu had failed. He doesn't know who gave it, but appreciates the extra layer of safety, especially with more challenges ahead. When Director Lei returns from the president's office, he's shocked. In the short time he was gone, our guy not only cleared the hardest area of the exam, but also did it in under 54 minutes, maintaining his first rank. It even makes the special privilege seem unnecessary now because he didn't need saving at all. Everyone is shocked to learn that President Ling personally granted our protagonist the invulnerability privilege, a special treatment no student has received in the past 20 years. This clearly shows that the president already recognizes his potential, and with this backing, Chiang Mai standing in the university is set to rise quickly. Instead of stopping after clearing the military weapon vault, Argy boldly enters the chapel, a zone designed for level 40 players, even though he is only level 25. His decision stirs concern among the faculty, and they quickly request to activate the Secret Realm's monitoring system. Inside the realm, he prepares for what could be the most difficult battle yet. The Death Monastery holds two final bosses, Scarlet Commander Migraine, who sits on the throne, and his wife, the High Priestess Wiseman, hidden in the room behind him. our main lead activates his phantom form, knowing that fighting both at once will be a serious challenge. Just then, Chammo turns toward an unexpected ally, Fairbanks, who once served as the adjutant of the Scarlet Crusaders. He sees this as the perfect time to use Fairbanks and possibly turn the battle in his favor. Moreover, Fairbanks had been locked away for decades after discovering the affair between Commander Migraine and the High Priestess. In most previous life, Fairbanks was a hidden NPC who gave players two choices: kill him for excellent grade blue equipment or free him so he could aid in the final battle. However, back then, due to his severe injuries and the inability to heal NPCs, Fairbanks' help was limited, but this time, things are different. In this world, Chammo can use skills. And with a basic healing spell, he restores Fairbanks' strength. Grateful and vowing loyalty, Fairbank promises to follow his orders and help him seek revenge when the time comes. Subsequently, he deactivates Phantom Form and prepares for the real fight. As the Scarlet Disciples activate, our boy uses Frostbrand to control the battlefield. Observers are stunned to see that he draws in all the mobs at once, over 50 level 37 elite Scarlet Crusaders, and traps them with perfect timing. The moment the stage is set, he launches his attack, void spheres and magic bullets rain down in rapid succession. Massive damage numbers explode on screen, and the disciples fall one after another. The audience is left speechless because not only did he lure all enemies in one wave, but our guy also killed them using Void Sphere twice in just 5 seconds, bypassing the usual cooldown. With the small mobs cleared, our guy prepares to confront the true challenge ahead, the traitorous couple, Migraine and the High Priestess. Migraine steps forward, ready to fight, and claims he serves the Holy Light and promises to purify Chammo, but he questions whether someone like Migraine, who's already fallen into darkness, is worthy of saying that. As the battle starts, he quickly takes control and uses his combo moves one after another: Combo Rush, Dragon Fang, and Descending Thorn. His timing is perfect, and the boss stays frozen for 30 full seconds. Those watching are surprised because they've never seen someone like our protagonist who handles his skills so smoothly. Behind Chang'ao, a dark elemental dazzle mark starts to glow. It's medium-sized, showing that it holds serious power. But he doesn't waste a second and releases it right away. One by one, powerful hits land, critical strikes, crushing blows, and fatal attacks all hit their mark. After a short but fierce fight, Migraine finally falls. But just as our boy starts to relax, he suddenly can't move, and the system freezes him for 60 seconds. And with that, the second part of the fight begins. This was always the most difficult part of the dungeon. The second boss in Migraine's wife begins to cast a spell to bring him back. This is what players call the double boss phase, where both bosses return and attack together. Just as the spell nears its end, and a loud crash breaks through, it's Fairbanks, the NPC Chammo freed earlier. Fairbank arrives just in time and interrupts the resurrection, calling out the cheating couple. Indeed, Fairbank waited years for this moment and finally has the chance to fight back. As Chammo remains frozen in place, he calmly reflects that while he can't change the plot directly, summoning an NPC like Fairbanks to disrupt it is still within reason. Wiseman quickly realizes what's going on. She identifies Chammo as the one who saved Fairbank. Following that, she moves forward to kill him, but Fairbanks blocks her, shouting that he won't let anyone touch the person who gave him another chance at life. His immobilization ends just as the battle heats up. Watching Fairbanks fight, he notices something surprising. This version of Fairbanks is far stronger than he remembered from his previous life. It might be because our boy healed him earlier, something players couldn't do in the old game. That moment makes Chammo rethink everything, and he realizes that treating this world exactly like the game from his past life is a mistake. Plus, if our protagonist adjusts his methods and optimizes how he plays, he might discover new advantages, just like he did now. Outside the secret realm, the monitoring team is stunned. Also, they can't believe he thought of such a strategy on his first attempt. Some doubt it's even Chiang Mai's first time entering the chapel, but there's no evidence he's ever been here before. Shuji walks out proudly, thinking he secured first place since no one else has returned, and also mocks Chammo. Shuji cleared the graveyard and library in just over an hour, and assumes the silence around him is out of the ordinary. But confusion replaces his pride when no one claps, and that's when Jujie hears the truth. Chammo is still inside, and not just anywhere but in the chapel, facing the hardest challenge of the realm. Changmo breaks the record for clearing Death Monastery, finishing it at level 25 with an impressive time of 1 hour and 40 minutes. His achievement shocks everyone, making them wonder if fate itself is finally favoring Oracle University. Meanwhile, Ling talks with her grandfather Ling before leaving for the Apocalypse continent. He teases Ling about finding someone she likes, though Ling denies it. The old man already suspects his granddaughter is in love with our boy. Even suggesting they get to know each other embarrassed, Ling quickly leaves, but it's clear she's thinking about our guy. Her grandfather Ling smiles, realizing his granddaughter might truly be growing up. Still, he reminds Ling to be cautious in the Apocalypse continent, warning Ling about bad people. Ling nods but secretly has Chanmo in mind. calling him the worst of them all, yet clearly missing him after Chammo breaks the Death Monastery record. The entire university is stirred, and leaders from different faculties rush over, each trying to recruit Chammo. Moreover, the battle faculty praises his physical strength, claiming their side is the strongest. The magic faculty counters, calling themselves the most noble. Meanwhile, the command faculty insists that leading is far more impressive than brute power. Hushuji, feeling humiliated by comparison, silently admits his own defeat. Just then, Director Lee arrives to calm the crowd and formally congratulates Chammo for making history, and tells him he's free to choose any of the 4 faculties. However, our protagonist, unfamiliar with how the university works in this new world, asks if he can attend trial lessons in each faculty before deciding. All 4 faculties warmly welcome Chiang Mai to try their lessons, each eager to have him join their ranks. In a nearby restaurant, a third-year student named Lin Bing, who leads the disciplinary division, approaches Ningyu with 2 SVIP concert tickets for Jay Cho's show. Despite his decent strength and family background, Ningyu clearly is not into him, and struggles to find a way to politely turn him down. Just then, Ningyu spots our boy and uses his presence as an excuse, claiming she has something to do. Lin Bing is clearly frustrated. Shortly after, he confronts our guy, hiding his jealousy behind official reasons, and warns him not to get arrogant just because of a good exam result, and reminds our hero to act like a proper junior. He even uses his position as head of the disciplinary division to justify inspecting our hero. But he, unimpressed and unbothered, calmly brushes off the noise, and on his very first day, Chammo makes a bold move, slamming a food tray straight into the head of the disciplinary division. Shuji and others watch in shock, and Lin Bing explodes with rape, aiming to get revenge. Afterwards, the hero casually apologizes and claims his hand slipped. But the damage is already done. Later, Changmu attends a trial class in the battle faculty led by Ganyang Hui, a powerful instructor with years of experience and a prestigious Third Awakening rank. But instead of being impressed, he finds the lecture boring and outdated. Plus, he criticizes the rigid teaching method, thinking it stifles creativity and fails to explore better skill options without hesitation. He stands up and prepares to leave the class midway. Gun Yung-hui, shocked that a student would walk out during his lecture, demands an explanation. Without hesitation, he says the teacher's methods are outdated and will only mislead students. After that, the room goes quiet. Shocked by his boldness, some students immediately shout, demanding him to apologize. Moments later, the disciplinary division arrives, and they accuse Chanmo of trying to leave class without permission and insulting the teacher, Gan Yang Hui. Further, they ask our hero to come with them for further questioning. Lin Bing, still bitter, watches and thinks this is Chanmo's downfall, but my guy remains calm and says if the teacher wants a reason, then he'll give one. These teaching methods are stuck in the past and will only hold students back. Irritated, the teacher Ganyang Hui challenges Changmu that if he can point out real flaws in front of the entire class, Ganyang Hui promises to resign and never teach again, to which he accepts the challenge and highlights a major issue in the teacher's advice: the fixed 3.1 stat ratio of strength to physique for berserkers. He explains how this setup will cause serious problems in the later stages of progression. Then, Qianmo backs up his claim with live calculations on the spot. The class watches quietly, stunned by how accurate and detailed his explanation is. Even the teacher begins to doubt himself. And in that moment, everyone finally sees that Chanmo is not just a genius, he knows exactly what he's talking about. Chanmo continues explaining with ease. Despite his confidence, he stays humble and reminds the class that everyone should think for themselves. To add to that, our boy admits that what he's saying might not be perfect, but also real knowledge comes from actual experience. Then Chanmo calmly turns to the teacher, Gan, and asks if there's anything else he can correct. Teacher Gan stands frozen. He can't believe that a first-year student is actually more accurate and detailed in theory than him. Before the shock fades, members of the student union arrive, and they take Lin Bing with them because he's being reported under the dean's orders for insulting the top scorer, Shenmu, of the entrance exam. After this, Lin Bing protests, but it's too late. Soon after, news spreads across the school. Everyone hears how Lin Bing was suspended and removed from his position. Even more surprising, Teacher Gan resigns on his own and leaves. Now, students across all faculties are talking only about Chanmo, how he is sweeping through the 4 great departments one after another, and how no one can stop him. News about our boy spreads quickly throughout the university. Students whisper about how he openly challenged outdated teaching methods and even stood up to authority without flinching. Word travels so far that it reaches the university president himself. Impressed by what he's heard, President Lin decides to meet Chanmo in person. And when they finally meet, President Ling shows no signs of anger or suspicion. Instead, President Ling expresses how satisfied he is that someone finally put those stubborn, narrow-minded teachers in their place. Also, President Ling mentions that he had wanted to deal with them himself for a long time, but Chanmo handled it better than he could have hoped. As they talk, Chanmo notices something interesting. The president's name is Ling Ling. The surname feels oddly familiar, but he brushes it off for now. Soon after, When Chiang Mai enters the room, he recognizes President Ling from a previous encounter, though this time his tone is different, calm and respectful. Afterwards, President Ling tells our guy that there's no need to explain how he managed everything, nor will he investigate his background. Instead, President Ling has only one thing to ask. He offers him the position of head teacher for the most unique class at Oracle University, a role that holds great responsibility. Without any hesitation, our guy accepts but makes it clear that he wants full authority over the class if he's going to take the role seriously. President Ling agrees and reminds Chammo that if he's chosen, he's willing to give him full control. As a sign of trust, President Ling compares the offer to handing over an imperial sword, complete power with no restrictions. He then assures him that his help won't go unrewarded and invites him to name any reasonable request, to which he thinks carefully before asking for precious intermediate alchemy blueprints, something that could aid his development. President Ling is pleased and notices him didn't ask for power, status, or money, but just knowledge. That alone shows maturity and focus. Moving ahead, President Ling tells Chammo the blueprints can be found in the Blueprint Museum and require contribution points to obtain. As a reward, President Ling grants Chammo 100,000 contribution points on the spot, more than enough to get what he needs. Chammo gets a call from his old friend Huang Tian, who excitedly shares 2 updates. He's reached level 30 and needs his help for his awakening mission, despite him being from a different university and only level 25. Huang chooses our guy without hesitation, to which Chammo agrees. And before heading to Blue Sky University, he decides to stop by the university's Blueprint Museum to buy supplies and pick a new blueprint for his level 4 transformation slot. He walks up to the machine, inserts his student ID, and waits as the system verifies him. After that, his name, ID number, and current contribution points flash on the screen, and the system announces that our hero has 100,000 contribution points and grants him full access. Everyone around him is stunned. Next, Chammo makes his way to the 3rd floor of the museum. Inside, countless blueprints are on display. The place lives up to its name and reputation. Oracle University's deep foundation is clear in the variety and value of items available. Later, he scans through the collection. Elixirs of all kinds are laid out with clear descriptions. There's an elixir of spirit, which boosts spirit by 5 for an hour, priced at 500 contribution points. Elixirs that increase damage for fire and frost spells sit nearby, each costing 600. Also, our hero finds an elixir of detection invisibility, which boosts detection by 50% and helps uncover hidden enemies for 3 minutes, priced at 700. After that, Chammo explores deeper into Oracle University's Blueprint Museum and discovers higher tier blueprints. After passing through basic and excellent tier options, he finds 4 epic tier blueprints in the intermediate alchemy section. He carefully compares them and ultimately selects purification, recognizing its usefulness against status debuffs in later stages of the game, and successfully transforms it. Chammo unlocks a new passive ability called Purification. This skill quietly activates every few minutes, clearing any basic negative effects from his body. It's not flashy, but it's powerful, especially useful when dealing with troublesome monsters in the mid-stages. Feeling satisfied with his choice, Chammo decides to check up on Huang Tian's progress. Moving forward, Chammo heads toward Blue Sky University. As he arrives at the entrance, he calls Huang Tian. Instead of meeting him right away, Huang casually tells our hero to explore the campus for a bit since he's tied up in a meeting, to which he shakes his head, finding it amusing how casually he's being treated, even though he's come all this way to help. On campus, another commotion catches his attention. A student named Zhao Dao is creating a buzz. He set up his own battle arena and just announced his 11th consecutive win. Standing confidently, Zhao Dao offers a challenge to anyone who thinks they can beat him, and the winner takes the entire prize pool of Blue Star coins. Moreover, Zhao is a senior student, already at level 30 and trained in the Spitfire class. His bold challenge attracts a crowd. But not everyone sees him as admirable. A student named Liao Xingwei steps in, accusing Zhao of using the arena just to take advantage of younger students and make money, to which Zhao responds calmly, saying everything is within the rules and that anyone is free to join. To everyone's surprise, Leo doesn't back down. Instead, he raises the stakes by placing a bet of 6 million Blue Star coins. The crowd grows louder, amazed by the amount. In Zhao's internal thoughts, we learn that this bastard want to hire some awakeners in order to complete missions, and he plans to use this money to pay them. Rumors float that there's a grudge between them, and today might be the day it finally comes to light. Some students support Zhao, saying his matches have always been fair. Others believe Liu's strength and family background give him an edge. Watching from the side, Chammo decides to stay a while longer. Since he has time to spare, he figures it's worth observing. It'll give him a sense of the real strength and competitiveness within Blue Sky University. The arena buzzes with excitement as Zhao Diabao fights with unexpected strength, forcing Lu Xinghui to step back. Zhao's fierce attacks catch everyone's attention, and for a moment it seems like Zhao might win, but Lu is not ready to accept defeat. not when his pride and money are on the line. Without warning, Liao throws an iron grenade into the fight. It explodes. Poor Zhao is down for the count after falling victim to his opponent's scummy move. People shout, calling Liu Simlas, but Liu ignores them and takes the chance to declare victory and collects the 4 million blue star coins, promising to return for the rest tomorrow. Feeling confident, Liu now stands tall in the arena and invites new challengers, saying the rules remain unchanged. As he scans the crowd, he spots a calm figure in gray, standing quietly and smiling. Leo takes offense, thinking the man is mocking the university, and he angrily calls him out. Chammo doesn't flinch and explains that he's not a student, but since it's open day, he has every right to be there. Further, he questions Leo's arrogance, asking why he needs permission just to laugh. Chammo's calmness only fuels Leo's irritation. Afterwards, Leo challenges him directly. In response, Chammo steps forward and raises the stakes. Also, our protagonist places 6 million blue star coins on the line and then adds a property in the capital worth 20 million. The crowd goes silent, stunned by the bold move, and whispers spread as people recognize him that he's only level 25. Belongs to the rare vagrant class and is known as a national treasure. Liu Xinghui, the arrogant student, is lying injured, having been defeated in a flash by a mysterious level 25 vagrant, and no one even sees the move because it's over in an instant. Suddenly, a student runs into the university building in a panic, searching for Professor Liao Guangyuan, and burst into the professor's office, urging him to rush to the arena because his son, Liao Xinghui, has been badly hurt. The professor, a third awakening expert, becomes shocked and demands to know who dared harm his son Leo. Back at the arena, whispers spread among the crowd because everyone is shocked that a mere level 25 vagrant could defeat someone as strong as Leo Xinghui so easily. Shanmo stands calmly, asking for the prize money he just won, to which Liao Xinghui now panics and pleads for a few days' grace, saying his father will come to pay. But Shenmo is not amused and demands a proper answer. Liao tries to stall, saying his father is a professor at Blue Sky University, expecting that to scare him off. Chengmu remains unfazed, and the other students grow defensive, claiming he's gone too far. Also, the students accuse him of being disrespectful and demand to leave. They even warn him that once their teacher arrives, Chengmu will face serious consequences. Still, he doesn't back down and turns to the crowd and reminds them the arena rules haven't changed, and if anyone's unhappy, they can come and fight because the arena is open, and the prize pool has now reached 38 million blue star coins, an amount too steep for most to even dream of. Tiamo then offers a way in which anyone who wants to challenge him can do so with a wager of just 3 million, and if they win, the massive prize pool will be theirs. After that, Gong Fei steps forward from the crowd, full of confidence, and announces his challenge, placing a bet of 3 million blue star coins and requesting a duel. Everyone knows Gong Fei because he's one of the top students in the graduating class. Known for his strength, hope rises in the crowd because students believe that Gong Fei might finally stop the Chanmo. But that bastard is knocked out as soon as he lunges. A new presence arrives. Professor Liao Guangyuan, he's angry and his gaze is locked onto the man who defeated his son. Indeed, Professor Liai demands his son's release, barking orders with authority, to which Chiang Mao simply states that Liao Xinghui still owes him money, and until the debt is paid, Liao won't be going anywhere. Shamo demands that Professor Liao pay up if he wants his son released, and calmly states the amount, 26 million blue star coins. After hearing this, Professor Liao is stunned because that's a huge sum built from years of savings, and he's angry that his son lost it all in a single match. Still, to avoid more embarrassment, Professor Liao hands over the money and gets his son back. Leo begs his father to take revenge, but Professor Leo doesn't move. Although he's over 20 levels stronger, attacking a much weaker opponent would be seen as bullying, something strictly judged in the university. Just then, someone spots Senior Huang Tian. Additionally, he's a well-known figure, always surrounded by people and respected by many. Students quickly gather around Huang, hoping he'll stand up for them. They explain how Chanmo has beaten up 7 students, including severely injuring Professor Liu's son, and even taking a fortune from him. They all demand justice. In the middle of this tense moment, Huang Tian realizes that he had only been a little late, but in that short time, his friend at Chanmo had already flipped the entire university upside down. Everything has happened so fast that even he is a little speechless. Just when Huang Tian announces that Chanmo is not a random troublemaker, he's a guest personally invited by him. Moreover, Huang urges everyone to let the matter go, saying it's better to resolve things peacefully. The crowd are stunned because many hoped Huang Tian would defend their pride, not protect the one who embarrassed them. Professor Liao, bitter and still angry about his son's loss, walks off but warns that this is not the end. After that, Chenmo shoots back that he's not the one causing trouble, clearly implying the blame lies elsewhere. Meanwhile, Huang Tian turns to Chanmo and smiles, saying they should head to the Second Awakening exam room. Rumors begin to spread, and some students are shocked because this level 25 vagrant is actually the external helper Huang Tian brought in for the awakening. It sounds absurd, yet here they'll... At the university's conference room, Principal Fei Yingguang holds a meeting. They're reviewing the helper list for the awakening ceremony. Professor Liao questions Huang Tian's decision to invite a level 25 helper, calling it irresponsible and suggesting the exam should be suspended. Additionally, Professor Liao seizes the moment, thinking this is the perfect chance to delay the exam and take revenge later. However, another staff member, Professor Wang, who saw Chammo's performance during recruitment, stands up for him, arguing that talent can't be measured by level alone. Thereafter, Principal Fei steps in and proposes a solution. A bet: if he fails, those who vouch for him will take responsibility, and if he succeeds, those who doubted him will face the consequences. Professor Leo sees this as a golden chance and wonders that if Chammo fails, he gets to remove Wang Kaifu and avenge his son in one go. With a smirk, he agrees to the bet, confident that Chammo won't succeed. The moment the bet is made, everyone turns to the screen and the second awakening exam is starting. The test takes place in an underground maze called Oldamen. It's full of earth, tight monsters, and dangerous paths. Outside the maze, Huang Tian tells Chammo about their goal. They don't need to fight everything. All they have to do is find an old item called the Norganinen disc, and if they find it, they pass. Xianmo is not fully sure and gives Huang an idea, to which Huang Tian warns our hero not to use him like an experiment, but he calmly tells Huang to trust him. Before entering, our guy gives one last instruction to Huang to stay about 15 meters behind him. Not too close and not too far. Inside the maze, a powerful boss monster named Lua Lore senses them and sends out a warning to attack. Chammo rushes ahead and pulls a large group of monsters, but Huang Tan stays behind our MC, following carefully. People watching the screen are shocked, and some recognize Chiang Mo and wonder if this plan will actually work. Others are angry, plus they feel like the two are not taking the exam seriously. As well, Professor Liao even thinks he might be a spy from another school trying to ruin the test. Also, he reminds them to stop the main lead after the exam to question him. Chiang Mai signals Huang Tian that it's time and immediately activates Phantom Cloak, disappearing from sight. The monsters chasing him freeze in confusion, unable to see their target. But on the contrary, Huang Tian stays behind, carefully keeping the perfect distance. Not too close to draw attention and not too far to lose track. Everyone watching is shocked because the monsters don't turn toward Huang Tian, even though he's clearly the only one left in view. Some begin to question how this is possible, but Principal Fei starts to realize what just happened, and explains that Chanmo had perfectly controlled the monsters' focus, drawing all their aggression while Huang Tian quietly followed without getting involved. The moment he turns invisible, Huang Tian steps out of sight, and with no visible enemy, the monsters lose their target completely. Principal Fei is impressed because the use of the aggro mechanism is not only smart, but also executed with flawless timing. Principal Fei admits that this level of cooperation is far beyond what they expected from students. Back to our duo, Huang Tian doesn't feel comfortable after skipping the boss. He can't just skip this boss to make his advancement easy because this boss drops a key. He knows that Ilirana's, the boss, stands on the other side of the door, and he plans to open it and fight the boss head-on. Meanwhile, the council that kept observing the two doesn't like that Huang Tian and Xianmo are whispering and keeping secrets. They call for the school to ban whispering in the second advancement exam. However, whispering isn't the only thing to catch their attention. They see Huang Tian move around the exam scenery after he moves the exam scenery objects. A glowing staff comes out of the table, shining light at angles. Suddenly, the level 35 elite boss, Iliranas, with his 16,000 HP, spawns. The giant boss threatens to teach them a lesson for stealing the secrets of the creator. The council is left surprised. They had been studying Oldaman for years, and they still had no idea the miniature structure was a secret mechanism to open the gate. The genius of Huang Tian impresses the council, and now they're certain that he can pass the exam. John Mo tells Huang Tian that he will back him a little, but he has to fight alone to test his current level. Huang Tian runs towards the boss. He uses his rural Phantom Blade technique, followed by a combo, and ends it with Ripple Slash. The striking combo and the extensive damage impress the council, and they cheer in excitement. However, Chanmo is not too impressed. He tells Huang Tian to speed up his rural Phantom Blade a little. He tells him to use a minor mountain splitting slash instead of the Ripple Slash to extend the stun duration, allowing him to finish with an unsheathed slash because it's stronger than Wave Slash. The council thinks Chanmo is just some nobody who knows nothing about swordsmanship. Huang Tian gets distracted thinking about the unsheathed slash, which allows the elite boss to strike him with a blast. Shenmo uses his title charm Soul Strike to restrain the elite boss, allowing Huang Tian to hit him. Huang Tian takes this opportunity to strike back, and this time, he uses Chanmo's combo. The 20% increased damage shows the council Chanmo is more than just a nobody. While some of them agree, the others think he's all theory, but then the truth is revealed to them. Argy scored top in the eBay Prince College entrance exams, and he's the first student in Sia Country who received an SSS potential rating. The truth leaves them speechless. But another scene grabs their attention. The elite monster falls, and when he's fallen, he senses the presence of a titan. The council cheers in excitement and decides to ask Huang Tian about the secret entrance after the exam. Meanwhile, Huang Tian cheers for Chammo's help and picks up the item, Thor's fragment, the final boss gate key fragment, and moves on. As they continue to walk, they see the bats clinging to the cave roof and the scorpions crawling around, so they decide to fight their way through. Huang Tian knows he's no match for Chammo's DPS, so he decides to focus on pulling mobs and runs to fight. White Huang Tian runs back screaming when the giant scorpions and blood, hungry bats swarm him. In that moment, our hero steps forward with his staff and casts the Void Sphere. A giant sphere sucks in the monsters in an instant, proving Chammo's strength. The council realizes our boy's worth and wishes to have him in their school. However, he joined the Oracle on his own, so it's very unlikely that he will join them. On the other side stands the Gagarin Firehammer. Our hero plans to tank the boss while Huang Tian focuses on DPS. The Gagarin Firehammer casts the fire damage boost, now increasing the fire damage by 150 points. However, Chammo wouldn't be a hero if he didn't have a counter. He activates his passive purification ability, instantly removing the fire damage boost effect. The monster is shocked at this feat. Chiang Mao decides to strike him with a combo, Dancing Rod, followed by a combo and then Combo Rush. Huang Tian, who had been observing the fight, is impressed by Mo's insane battle mage skills. Gagarin starts to cast the Flame Nova. Arga uses his ice block and tells Huang Tian to handle the beast. Huang Min knows Chen Mo is doing it on purpose, to test his skills, but then decides to attack the boss. He uses his backflip slash and then a ripple slash, successfully interrupting Gagarin's Flame Nova casting. The council is surprised to see our hero teach Huang Tian, who they thought was the most powerful. Their realization that not having him in their school is a loss only gets stronger seeing Chanmo's insane combat skills. While Huang Tian tirelessly fights to tank the boss, our boy has yet another tip for him. He tells him that Gagarin Firehammer's instant fire damage boost is traceable, and if his reaction is fast enough, he can dodge it. He tells him to keep an eye on Gagarin's movement the moment he raises his arm, the moment he attacked. Huang Tian notices that he slightly pulls back his right arm. Now if Huang Tian uses Ripple Slash the moment Gagarin pulls back his arm, he can resist the debuff. However, it's a microsecond opportunity, so he needs to be quick. Gagarin uses his debuff again, but Huang Tian fails to resist on time and takes the damage. He continues to try but fails either by going too slow or too fast. Meanwhile, the council is furious and doesn't believe it's even possible to react in a microsecond. Huang Tian's damage keeps stacking up to 1,500 points. He's bruised and tired, but Chen Mo reminds him that this is his last chance to do or die. Huang Tian gathers his spirit and runs at Gagarin. He finally succeeds in using his Ripple Slash on time and resists the fire damage boost. However, Changmo thinks the win is not worth celebrating after so many failed attempts. Huang Tian continues to resist Gagarin's attacks, finally satisfying him. At last, Chano steps in, he unleashes his dazzle marks and death, feeds Gagarin in one blow. Huang Tian is satisfied with his strength and believes he can now fight someone at least on the same level as him. The council no longer doubts Mo's skills. They now understand they need him at all costs, otherwise he will not only be a danger to their university, but may be a nightmare to all his peers across Xia. At last, Huang Tian and Cheyenne Mo stand before the door that holds the final boss, Ajata. They insert their fragments in the door and the huge door slides back, revealing a giant final boss with his angelic wings. Chen Mo tells Huang Tian to have a clear strategy to fight the final boss. The boss will raise 5 statues to life every 10 seconds, and once he reaches 50% HP, he will bring all the statues to life. Huang Tian proposes the textbook plan to divide the 2 tasks to kill the boss and the mobs. However, our hero, like always, has a better plan. At first, Huang Tian freaks out when he hears about the forced kill. He doesn't believe a level 38 boss. It is such all 38 boss can be fought like that. However, the plan is simple: kill him fast enough and keep control of the output rhythm. Wang Tina-ri thinks the plan and realizes that the plan is worth trying. With the final agreement, old Chiang Mai activates all his ability to be done. That leave even the council astounded. Time and again, the council learns something new. They finally realize that someone like the Vagrant can be powerful at times with all their abilities, and the extra buffs and damage tanking pets are additional help. However, the Vagrants are too rare, and it's impossible for anyone to progress to the point of our hero. Shinmo's pets and buffs stand behind him like his personal arsenal. He tells Huang Tan to focus on damage output and dodge the boss's AoE attack while he focuses on stacking vulnerable debuffs on the boss. The attacks begin with an electrifying flashbang and piercing bullets. Azata speaks in fury. The shocked state allows damage to be increased by 20% with every stack, which lasts for 8 seconds. The sundered armor state allows physical damage taken to be increased by 10%. Shinmo tells his pets to delay the revived statues. Only one thing matters in this battle: vulnerability debuffs. To kill Ajata, our hero needs to stack as many vulnerable debuffs as he can so that they can have enough burst damage. It might be something other classes might not be able to do, but a Vagrant like him definitely can. The 10% damage makes Huang Tian doubt their plan. but Chammo assures him that it will only increase from here on. Our hero unleashes dazzle marks. The damage continues to stack, and at last Ajata's HP reaches 50%. Ajata summons the statues and brings them all to life. The council, as if our hero has not proved himself enough, doubts his skills once again. They think the damage output is not enough, and soon Huang Tian and he will have to split up to take care of the mobs. But they also think one person is not enough to deal with the small mobs. However, Chang Mao's vulnerability debuffs continue to stack, tanking the boss. At last, the forced kill works, and Ajata bursts into bits and pieces. Huang Tian now realizes Chammo loves the chaos, having realized he's lost. Liu Guangyuan falls to his knees and begs for forgiveness with demotion, and a year's salary suspended. However, the principal doesn't tolerate his abusive power to settle personal grudges against Qianmo. He believes in the fairness of the arena tournaments, and believes that Liu's son should have paid after losing the bet. The principal doesn't take it lightly, and tells Li Yaoguangyuan to submit his resignation by tomorrow and orders the guards to take him out. Meanwhile, Huang Tian has completed his second awakening mission and is promoted to Sword Saint with 20 attribute points as a reward. Shanmo and Huang Tian set a new record for finishing the task in under 2 hours. Our hero's spellbinder triggers, upgrading his rank to SS rank and the platinum treasure chest to die. Huang Tian is impressed with the excessive rewards in the level up. Kameo, on the other hand, upgraded twice thanks to the huge EXP rewards, and he can now finally add the DD helper service. He invests all 12 attribute points in strength, making his battle power just a step away from 30,000. Xiangmu then opens the diamond treasure chest and finds Venomous Shoulders, an excellent grade piece of equipment. It can use the Poison Queen capture, which fires a giant net in front of him, immobilizing all the captured targets for 5 seconds, while simultaneously injecting paralysis poison. Our hero believes this new skill can be perfectly coordinated with a Void Sphere or Quantum Bomb. If he just lures all the mobs together and then uses the net followed by an AoE attack, he can clear them all in one go. Wang Tian is also happy with other high-level equipment and asks Chan Mo to show his. He's surprised to see that Chan Mo has a second awakening equipment for the second time while he doesn't even have one. Having finally reached level 31, Huang Tian officially graduates from Blue Sky University. Meanwhile, the students of the Blue Sky University gossip about Huang Tian and Shanmo finishing the exam. With a record-breaking result, Shanmo meets up with the administration and knows they want to invite him to join their university. They offer to agree to any conditions that he may have as long as he says yes. But Shanmo remains committed to the Oracle University. He also assures them that Oracle University will not have any conflict with Blue Sky University if they don't start it. The principal realizes he can't force anymore and proposes an alternative plan. Principal Fei has officially asked Shanmo to be an interim teacher and help their students clear the Second Awakening secret realm. Not only that, but they also include specific rare materials and a 100% guarantee for clearing the Second Awakening. When the students learn about this new development, if those students manage to bring rare materials our boy needs, the success rate in the Second Awakening will be guaranteed 100% with the help of Chanmo's assistance. Some students think 100% is an exaggeration because Huang Tian's batch only had a promotion rate of 37%, and not even the strongest level 30 students all over CI guarantee a promotion for the exam. Meanwhile, Liu Kui, who has acquired the Space Cicada Spirit at Qianmo's request, approaches him and asks when they can proceed with the Second Awakening exam. Our guide cheers up in excitement seeing the first Rate Space Cicada Spirit and tells Liu Kui to start now. Liu Kui's hesitation makes our hero think he doesn't believe in him, but he clarifies that he just thought it would be hard on him and agrees to start right away. As Liu Kui and Changmu head towards the map, they find some students gossiping about how this kid following our boy has failed once before and even lost 4 levels. His talent is so bad that even experts couldn't help him, but my guy assures Liu Kui to just relax and believe in himself. But the kid is not too satisfied with his luck. He picked the Demon Soul Mountain map, which is slightly more difficult than Oldemon. Meanwhile, the students see the progress board at 80%. They're surprised that they have already cleared the first and second boss in less than 30 minutes. Chammo continues to fight the Demon Dragons at a level 39 final boss. Liu Kui observes the fight and wishes that he had met him before as the demon falls. Qianmo clears another Second Awakening exam with a record of 1 hour and 35 minutes. His rewards once again upgrade thanks to his ability from Platinum to Starlight Treasure Chest. He realizes that the helper service is not too bad. He can upgrade materials for his weapon and obtain XP and treasure chests. However, he decides to open the treasure chests later after clearing the rest of the secret realms. As the students see the progress screen show that Liu Kui has cleared his exam, they realize that the 100% guarantee wasn't a brag. They all run to gather the items so that they can get the turn with Chen Mo. As Liu Kui and Shan Mo walk out of the portal, Liu Kui falls to his knees and thanks his teacher for helping him clear. Chammo tells him he's getting paid to do this, so he doesn't need to thank him. Meanwhile, as Chammo reaches his office, he sees students gather in line waiting for their turn. He didn't realize his office had become a hotspot. After Chanmo's 10-day tenure, the Blue Sky University personally helps to drop our boy off at Oracle Uni. Meanwhile, the students of Oracle University recognize Blue Sky University's limousine approaching them. Not knowing their intentions, the students decide to inform the teachers. Having no information of their arrival, Director Chen wonders if the hero did something at their university. His reaction seeing him step out of the car is comical. He wonders if our boy switched sides. Right then, Chammo tells them the director of Blue Sky University is here to discuss the upcoming collaboration with President Ling. The Oracle University's team wonders why Blue Sky's director would personally escort Chano back, and why on earth they would be willing to collaborate with Oracle University with such a huge gap in rank. The Blue Sky University director cheers in excitement and sings praises of Chano, which leaves Director Chen surprised. Director Wang sings praises of how Changmu helped their students graduate. He tells President Ling that their university wishes to form an alliance with the Oracle University, as well as invite Chen Qiangmu officially as a guest professor. Qiangmu is an exceptional student who guides teachers in his own university and is now invited to be a guest professor at another, which makes Ling wonder if they want to steal his student. Wang addresses Chammo's concern about writing academic reports and assures him that he will not have to do any academic reports, and his salary will also be the same as other professors in the university. Jimmo knows that if he wants to establish his guild and acquire a large number of members, he needs to maintain the relationship, so he accepts their offer. After Wang leaves, Chanmo tells President Ling that he plans to spend some time to refine the details for the teacher improvement class and prepare some teaching materials. And then he will head to the Apocalypse continent tomorrow to do a final push before his second awakening. In such a short time, Chanmo has reached level 29. President Ling cheers in excitement that at this rate, Chammo will be ready to make it to the university tournament happening in 3 months. He tells our guy that the University Grand Tournament is the yearly ranking competition for universities. It will be split into 2 categories, normal and advanced. In the normal category, anyone with 3rd awakening or below is permitted to participate, and in advance, anyone with 4th and below is allowed. Only teachers and students are permitted, and the final rankings will also directly decide the university's reaction. Our hero realizes he now has the perfect opportunity to make a name and introduce himself to the whole country of Xia. Meanwhile, Chumo visits Thunder City. He contacts Ling Ling, who's furious at him for disappearing. However, she's on a mission far from Thunder City, so she's unable to visit him. Chammo notices her leveling speed, which he thinks is because of some hidden mission. Ling Ling confirms his guess and tells him about her family finding her a partner. Instead of getting jealous as she expected, Chanmo shows a positive response which upsets Ling Ling, so she decides to go on the blind date out of revenge. Even though our guy was just playing with her, she took it seriously and got furious. Meanwhile, Chanmo decides to get the items he needs. He has the 10 materials for the flowing light, 1000 bladed umbrella. The only 2 missing are the Yin Yang Holy Silk and Shadow Moon Holy Flame, and they're the rarest to obtain, but to his surprise, the merchant has found him some precious items, among which the Shadow Moon Holy Flame caught his attention. Chanmo pretends to act disappointed as if he's not jumping in excitement internally. The merchant tells him he spent 1,000 gold coins, but he's willing to grant him a 20% discount for the delays. Tiamo's false disappointment worked. The merchant actually paid 2,000 gold coins, but he's terrified by Tiamo's gaze. Our hero decides to take the deal and leaves after saying his goodbyes. He knows exactly where to get the Yin Yang Holy Silk, but before that, he decides to visit someplace else, somewhere outside Thunder City at a horse stable. Our hero opens a hatch that leads to the Dark Brotherhood branch in Thunder City. The Dark Brotherhood is an assassin organization in the continent, and every awakener can apply to become an assassin. However, they have to undergo some tests to be able to join them. There are 2 reasons our hero wants to join the organization. One is, of course, the assassination missions pay, but the more important reason is to climb the ranks and get his hands on the assassin mask. You would think it will give you some special attributes, but the mask only has one use: to conceal all personal information about the wearer. The mask hides the wearer's true identity and only shows their code name and level. The organization is split into 8 ranks. From the highest one, Tian, Tasha, Di, Jushi, Mei, Wang, and the lowest, Li Yang. Most people are stuck in the lower 4 ranks, and only experts with 3rd awakening or higher stand a chance of advancing to the top 4 ranks. Xianmo reaches the Dark Brotherhood's door. He pushes the door, walks inside like a boss, and tells the receptionist he wants to join the Dark Brotherhood. While everyone gossips about his rank, the lady asks for 100 gold coin fee, hands him a token, and tells him to report to the testing hall at basement 3. Meanwhile, in the testing hall, while Quan continues to test the participants, some men gossip about her rough tests and her ranks when she suddenly appears behind them. She tells them to take the test, and if their power exceeds 20,000, She'll forgive their gossip. She hits them with a whip as they beg for mercy. However, none of them reach 20,000 battle power, and as a result, Quan sends them to the water prison. As they beg for mercy, another one approaches the lady. She sees our hero's rank and tells him to turn around while he can. But then she sees Chamochian's unwavering spirit and tells him that if he doesn't pass the 20,000 points, he too will be sent to the water prison. As it would turn out, Chammo is no mere mortal. Quan's eyes remain wide open and surprised as she sees him exceed 30,000 points. That too at his level 29. Next, our hero will face a test with 4 stages that test his strength, agility, physique, and spirit. At last, she reminds him that if he loses, he will lose his level. Chiang Mai finds this place much more interesting than his previous world. Quan alerts the other lady that she has found a suitable candidate, but she still needs to test his skills. Meanwhile, Chanmo enters the testing stage in some independent space outside of Secret Realms. The speaker announces to him to get ready for the ocean wave in 30 seconds. He has to attack the wave with all his strength, without the use of buff skills and elixirs. Since it's a 4-stage test to test 4 attributes of the Oakener, the first stage of strength is to test the strength. Chammo finds it pleasing that only pure strength is allowed because it's been quite a while since he's had to go all the way, and he's eager to test his strength. Our hero draws out the great sword transformation. He sees the wave's height and realizes, as they expect highly of him, Chammo uses the blood sword and swings it. In just one slash, he manages to shatter a 1,000-meter wave. Passing the strength stage with an overall A+ rating, 2 gates open around him. The left one leads to the agility stage, and the right one leads to a lounge if he wants to recover first. However, clearing the stages consistently can improve the final ratings, so he needs to make a wise decision. Our hero decides to clear all stages in one go. The observers see the A+ rating color, which surprises them because even Funging's strength stage rating was only B+. Funging thinks he must be level 40 to get an A+. Quan bursts out and laughs her because even she only got an A rating. However, strength is usually the easiest stage for close combat classes, and she hopes Chenmo is not just a one-off because if he remains consistent, then she found what she was looking for. On the agility stage, our hero stands on the snow mountain's peak. His test is to reach the foot of the mountain as fast as he can while running from the avalanche, and that too, without iframe and slow effect skills. This stage revolves only around speed. To escape the avalanche across a 1,000-meter-high mountain, Kenmo needs exceptional speed and judgment. While almost 2/3 are covered with snow, our hero's agility attribute is high, and the elixirs are allowed. He takes an elixir of agility and runs like hell, taking advantage of the 10 seconds before the avalanche. He then casts an ice wall with buys him 2 seconds at best. Chiang Mai decides to freefall to outrun the avalanche. However, he needs to find a way to decrease his speed if he doesn't want to turn into minced meat. As he approaches the snow-free area, Yanmo switches his sword into spear form and creates an axial vortex. The dry part allows him to do anything without the fear of creating another avalanche. He then uses a hook to a tree to safely land. And with that rapid descent, our hero passes the agility stage with an A+ rating. Qianmo is satisfied with his A+ ratings and doesn't think there are any higher ratings. Meanwhile, Feng Ying sees the color of the results and realizes it's possible that he might have gotten an A++. Quan cheers in excitement, realizing she's found what she wanted. At the physique test, our hero enters an underground lava cave. The environmental damage causes him to lose HP just by walking around, which is a problem because he didn't invest much into physique, and his HP is slightly short of 4,000. He estimates the tunnels to be around 2,000 meters, and with 100 HP loss every second and a burning stack, our hero wouldn't last a minute, not even with elixirs. He decides to check the lava surface, uses his hook to swing through the air, and realizes that only the lava surface causes damage. Qiangmo takes some elixirs to give himself an edge. He then starts to jump, and with his peak agility, our hero manages to jump 600 meters at once. He then casts an ice wall on the ground and jumps through it. With now only 700 meters left, our hero then uses the gun form, shoots it down to recoil himself backwards, and then summons the Tempester. He uses the Heaven's Net to hook it to the Tempester and jumps to the finish line. With only 200 HP lost, Chanmo passes the physique stage with an A++ rating. Meanwhile, Chenmo's skills leave Feng Ying surprised once again. She grows more eager to know who this new participant is. Quan tells her that she doesn't know much about him either and tells him about his rank and class. Feng Ying can't believe a level 29 vagrant just got an A+, and the highest legendary ratings. She realizes that their strength looks trash in comparison and suggests reporting it to the high-ups. She believes they could grant him the 5th rank even if he fails the last stage. However, Quan has waited quite some time for someone like Chanmo, and she can't let someone steal him away. But then Feng Ying reminds her that he's not the only candidate and there are consequences if the higher-ups blame her. Quan agrees and leaves the place as if she weren't he. At last, our hero faces the final stage. He finds himself in what seems to be a library, and his guess is that it's to test either wisdom or spirit. Chanmo is in a maze with only one entrance and one exit. He can use his spirit to sense the right path guided by the books. However, as his spirit starts to get tired, his feedback will continue to get weaker until it disappears. Chammo uses his spirit to test and sees the bull glow as a guide. His spirit attribute is low, like his physique, and using the spirit power is causing him fatigue. It could take him forever to clear the maze. But the maze creator didn't think about our hero's clever abilities. He activates his invisibility effect, and just as he thought, he can pass through walls. The invisibility cloak's bug allows one to ignore the terrain, and since the high bookshelves are a part of the terrain, our hero could easily pass through them. With the final stage passed, Chammo becomes the first person in the Dark Brotherhood to pass with an A++ rating. He unlocks the 5th rank as the start and can reach the next rank with 20,000 accumulated points. Our hero levels up with those EXP gains and finally reaches level 30. Leveling up unlocks the 2nd Awakening mission, and once he completes the mission, our hero will be promoted to soulbinder. Meanwhile, the other applicants see Chammo's ratings and start to gossip about his feats. They run in panic and beg for mercy when Quan tells her assassins to lock them all. She tells her assassins to not let a word out and let the prisoners go after a while and compensate them with 100 gold. Damn, that women shoo every participant away just to have a private talk with our boy. As Chammo steps out of the portal, Quan welcomes him and praises his achievements. Chammo notices the politeness in her behavior and acts humble himself. Quan tells him to drop the formalities because they're colleagues now. Our hero doesn't fully trust her yet, so if something goes wrong, he has his phantom form to escape. Quan hands him over the 5th rank assassin clothes and tells him where to find assassination missions if he chooses to take on any in the future. She tells Chiang Mai that he will be able to climb to rank 4 in 2 years and warns him not to betray their trust. Before leaving, Chammo asks her if she has anything more to discuss. Quan demands he won't tell anyone what she's about to tell him. She tells him about the ancient altar she found in the ancient mysterious cave she discovered. Chammo realizes it's because of the level restriction that she can't do it herself, but he pretends to play dumb. Quan tells him about the demonic beast guarding the altar and how she can't enter with her current level. Our hero recalls 2 places similar to that, a level 35 drifting cloud stream and the level 40 Devil's Cave. He knows she's found the altar behind the waterfall in the drifting cloud stream. Chammo knows Quan is not telling him that the demonic beast is level 40 so that he doesn't lose confidence. Since the altar can only be activated by one person and the cooldown time is 3 months, Quan is trying to get the altar for herself. She Animos decides to play along and pretends as though he fully trusts her and agrees to try taking on the demonic beast without wasting any time. Quan takes him to the drifting cloud stream. She tells Kanmo to head through the waterfall while she guards the entrance. Our hero acts like he's scared. He tells her he's a little nervous and asks her about the demonic beast level. Quan tells him she doesn't know the beast level and hands him over the Azure Pearl that can temporarily grant him 3000 HP. However, it can only be used 3 times, and Quan has used it twice, so Chan Mo needs to be wise about its use. As Kamo leaves, the woman shows no remorse if he dies. Back to our boy, he already know well enough that this bitch is playing him and wants that coveted item all for herself. But since he's here, he decides to take it. He takes out the leper mask that allows him to transform into the appearance of the gnome race for 30 minutes. The hero can easily take on the level 40 rock rat, but the seal will disappear too, and he can't let Quan take the advantage. Our boy finally reaches the giant rat and offers him all the food he's got. While the food keeps the rat busy, Shenmo sneaks to the altar without killing the rat, having already unlocked all the first awakening skills. Our hero can now learn second awakening skills in advance. As he places his hand on the altar, it offers him second awakening class skills, like Tombstone, Outrage Break, and Black Hole. He chooses the Murderous Wave. The altar starts to glow and grants him the skill. This skill releases waves of murderous energy that inflict continuous damage and ignore the defenses of all enemies within 5 meters. It also increases the user and his teammates' physical and magical critical rate by 5%. It also takes 50 MP per second, and our hero, with his current spirit attribute, can't handle that, so he decides to change it to passive once his system is upgraded. Meanwhile, Quan grows impatient after waiting for over half a day. She wonders if he got killed, but realizes it's impossible for a level 40 beast to kill him instantly. Mini Chammo provokes the rock rate by telling them that the altar has no power anymore. The rat gets furious and starts to run and scream. Quan sighs in relief after hearing some noise and thinks Chianmo is just being careful. He tricks the rat into joining him by telling him that he'll starve if he doesn't come with him. The rat gets disappointed hearing about Quan guarding the entrance. Camo tells the rat she is trying to kill him, but they're no match for her, but he's a plan to deal with her. With plan in motion, Chanmo runs out of the cave as the rock rat follows him. Quan thinks it's some gnome and jump in the cave after noticing that the seal has been lifted. Meanwhile, our hero and the rock rat, who just pretended to be fighting, see this. The protagonist tells the rat to reactivate the seal now that she's inside the cave. Meanwhile, Quan finds the seal already stolen. She waited so long for this, and now her blood boils. She suspects our boy but realizes she didn't see him. But then, she wonders why the gnome appeared and whether Chammo was with someone else. Either way, she accepts her fate and decides to come back again after 3 months, as he tries to walk out. The seal at the exit throws her back in. She finally realizes it was a trap all along. Quan realizes she'll starve to death, so if she's going to die, she wants to die on her own terms. She takes her dagger and stabs herself. Xianggao, outside the cave, reveals his true identity to the rock rat. The sudden revelation frightens the rock rat at first, but Chammo offers him a chance to live, as our boy is dashing down with his new companion. He reflects on a situation. In the Apocalypse continent, an Awakener unlocks beast taming skills once they reach level 30. The rock rat cooperated well with Chammo when offered safety and plenty of food. With the rock rat, our hero moves to his destination, the Spider Canyon, in hopes of getting the yin-yang holy silk from the level 40 boss, the flaming spider girl Quelaag. Some people see our guy mount the rock, grat and find him cool. At last he reaches his destination, but the pads below are narrow for the rock rat, so he decides to go by himself. To his surprise, someone is already fighting the flaming spider girl and he's 1 level lower than our hero. Although his damage, inflicting skills aren't good enough, his dodging and movements impress Qianmo. As the beast soars in fury, the man realizes he won't be able to dodge this one. But then, our hero steps in at the last minute and dodges the attack. The man Li Minghao recognizes Qianmo. It was because of him that Li Minghao could pay for Hegemon University fees. Qianmo also recognizes him as one of the few people who gathered scraps behind him. He starts to sing praises about how it allowed many students to pay for their school fees. Without wasting any time, our guy tells him to stay aside and takes on the beast as he strikes his powerful combos. Li Minghao stands surprised with his strength, then our hero draws out his dagger, does an air jump and uses the bandit cut on the vicious beast. While the flaming spider girl is in a fainted state, Qianmo takes this opportunity to dish out damage. He uses his dazzle mark suppression, which deals enormous damage to the enemies by causing an explosion. The more he uses it, the more attack power and range increase. Li Minghao sees our boy inflict such high damage and wonders if this is really just a level difference. Unlike the dazzle mark emanation, the dazzle mark suppression deals the highest amount of damage in just an instant, which allows Qianmo to take down the monster in an instant. Thanks to his luck, our hero managed to get the yin-yang holy silk in just 1 kill. Li Minghao comes running to Qianmo. He praises his skills and asks our boy to take him in as his disciple. He's an SS ranked talent with battle awareness, which helps him dodge dangerous attacks, and it's what helped him get into the #1 university, Cloud Hegemon. Our hero notices his leveling speed is fast. Li Minghao shows him the reason he's been speeding up. He shows Kanmo the spirit energy pearl that allows the owner to obtain an extra 100% XP while killing monsters. Chiang Mai realizes that Li Minghao must be extremely lucky to acquire something with an extremely rare drop rate, so he agrees to take him in as a disciple, Ekasarsar, and tells Li Ming how to find him after his second awakening. Back at the Oracle University, a man approaches Chiang Mo to tell him that President Zhang has invited him. In the president's office, Jiang Shaowen introduces himself as the president of the capital's management association. He notices that he keeps looking at his ring and asks Jiang if he wants to discuss something. Jiang sings praises of Chanmo's achievements and tells him that Elder Qin sent him to deliver something. He hands over a box that Elder Qin instructed him to use after his second awakening. Chano attempts to open the box but realizes that it's sealed by some mystical power and can only be opened after clearing the second awakening. As they stand in the second awakening classroom, Director Lei asks Chanmo if he doesn't want to rest first. Chanmo insists and requests them to keep his mission a secret and not broadcast it live. Although Li was planning to gather everyone to watch his mission live, he agreed to keep his mission a secret from everyone. On top of all that, our hero intends to solo the second awakening exam. Director Lei informs President Liang of Chamo's arrival and tells him that he went to the second awakening mission right away. He further adds that he permitted our boy's request to keep his mission off from broadcasting. President Ling agrees that everyone has secret and tells Lei that he chose well. Right then, President's granddaughter brings in his medicine. Once Lei leaves after teasing her a little, President turns to the girl and reveals that the guy they wanted to meet has finally arrived. The girl refuses to go on a blind date, but Ling tells her that an agreement has already been made and the meet-up will be arranged once he clears his second awakening. Shuzi tries to object, but President Ling shuts her off and tells her to at least meet up with the guy. Meanwhile, this time the secret realm is a desert city, and in order to get an SSS rank, our hero has to give it his all. Thanks to his no broadcast condition, he can evolve to his complete form. He consumes 2 fruits of ability to increase all of his awake inner abilities by 10 points. Chammo can feel his body overflow with power and decides it's time to become the legendary soulbinder. He summons his friend Rockrat to mount him. As he runs with his Rockrat, he gets inflicted with multiple hits of Shadow Curse. Kianmo tells the to jump at the rock in front while they're chased by monsters. Then he jumps onto the wall. The monsters continue to chase them. Our hero consumes life elixirs to recover his HP and removes all the debuffs. He chose this map because he can just jump onto the rock walls or stone pillars and leave the battle state. If he wishes to get an SSS rank evaluation, Yanma will have to clear all the small mobs. He decides to deal with the small mobs later and heads on to face the first boss, Thaka the Martyr first. Our hero jumps down the wall where the scarabs crawl. In his previous life, they didn't attack unless provoked, but our hero needs the SSS rank, so he needs to clear everything while the first boss is patrolling. Chammo takes out the claymore to deal with the little creatures all at once. He places the claymores around the scarabs and waits for Matter to walk into the area. The moment Matter walks into the area, Chamel hits the button, a huge blast goes off. The blood splatters everywhere, and he successfully eliminates the level 36 elite ball. That boss kill drops a guardian sword. It increases all attributes by 5 points. And its base damage and attack speed are even better than his flowing light 1000-bladed umbrella, the true legendary weapon called Ancestor's Glory. Once existed in the desert city, but long ago it was split into 2 fake legendary weapons. The guardian sword is in Chen Qiangmu's hands, and the other is the Retaliator's blade. 2 of them, when combined, will bring back the ancient ancestor's glory. Even though it can only be wielded temporarily and only in this desert, it will make it easier for our hero to clear this secret realm. Kiyamo mounts the rat and heads to the military camp. He tells Rock Rat to lure in all the monsters and go back up as he heads inside the camp. A monster army swarms in. Our hero heads in and finds a level 36 elite boss, Sand Devil Executioner. He grabs the elite boss by the arm and throws him at the mob. He finds 5 prisoners who came to the secret realm but were kept in the air. Captured and frees them. The prisoners thank Chanmo and monsters rush towards them while some of them get scared. One shows bravery and decides to fight. After all, they're all level 40. He tells them he will support them when they need it. The prisoner gathers his strength and runs to fight. They start fighting the monsters while our hero observes with no intentions of helping them. They scream for help as they get beat, but Chanmo decides to wait for a second to get, until 3 of them die with only 2 of the prisoners left. The monsters start to surround them. Just as they think all hope is lost, our hero steps in for rescue and kills the monster. The prisoner starts to thank him when Chammo notices something suspicious and points his spear at his heart. Having cleared Desert City many times, he knew the real second boss was that team of prisoners. He uses the dazzle mark suppression and decimates the false prisoners. The 5 people weren't adventurers, they were traitors who escaped here after being chased down. If Chanmo had fought for them, they would have conserved more energy, and it would have become difficult for him to fight them. However, killing them early wasn't an option either, because then the Retaliator's blade wouldn't have dropped from them. It's a good weapon, but Chanmo has to merge. He combines the 2 weapons and summons the mythical legendary weapon, the Ancestor's Glory. This mythical weapon increases 15 points for all attributes, and has a 15% chance of releasing a shockwave with 1000 base damage. Our hero sees the extremely high attributes and starts to look for something to sharpen the blade with. As our hero reaches the hilltop lake, he faces the last mob. They're level 39 mobs, the strongest mobs in Desert City. He finds the perfect opportunity to use his blood. Shano then activates the Ancestor's Glory and throws a shockwave attack, instantly reducing the mobs to ashes. He feels sad that he can't take such a powerful weapon out of the desert city. However, he still has the final boss, the 9-headed serpent, to entertain himself with. As Changmu approaches the slum, the giant level 49-headed serpent rises. He calls Changmu a foolish human for disturbing his sleep. But our hero reminds him who's the real boss here and tells him he has already defeated the serpent tribe's leader. This makes the serpent furious and it runs towards Chiang Mai but he dodges and strikes the serpent with the royal phantom blade. The serpent can't believe how he has the ancestor's glory and groans in pain. Without responding to the serpent, Kanmo lunges towards it and starts striking it with his blade, continuously using the murderous wave spell. The 9-headed serpent finally gets beheaded, and Chammo gets to sigh in relief after the exhausting, continuous activation of the spell. He decides to return and take down the small mobs. Chammo breaks the records of the Zul'Farrak's secret realm, and obtains great rewards along with a personal evaluation of SSS rank. He thinks about what the soulbinder class is, and wonders if he will be proficient in all 5th Awakening classes if he advances to his complete form. He gets curious about how the Soulbinder class will evolve and hopes he will soon be able to kill all the demons and beasts throughout the void. The scene then cuts to the broadcasting site where a bunch of people are gathered already. Lei Junjie keeps yelling, asking if all the arrangements and the required materials are ready or not, like the flower girl and medals for each department, as he orders the workers to be quick in case Chanmo comes out. One of the people there can't help but question another person about Director Jiang's frightened self to make such arrangements when Oracle University is already in a dire strait. The other person enlightens him about the wealth of the Oracle University's ancestors and tells him that their principal is still a 4th Awakening powerhouse. Just then, anchor Li Yuxan steps out of the news van and informs that she has to go to the Cloud Hegemon University for a special interview. but the director made her come here to such a mere student graduating event of an Oracle University. She is clearly upset about having to come here and wonders what could be so important here to report that the director made her come here. Nevertheless, she suggests having a little tour of the university before the event starts. So the cameraman turns on his camera as they broadcast their live report. The people start commenting on how bored they are to be there at Oracle University until the limousines of Blue Sky and Adjike Spirit Universities arrive. Both the viewers and US Sean are left astonished, whereas the directors step out of their cars. When the principal of the Cloud Hegemon University, Wu Shui-ching, sees the live broadcast from his conference room, he asks the members about the plans of the Oracle University for the day. The administrator director, Zhou Siwei, informs about Chammo being the provincial champion of the year. However, due to him being a vagrant, their university hasn't sent anyone to recruit him. Another member joins in and guesses that Ling Xiao might be trying to promote his university by using Chenmo's good results. Wu Shui-ching gets angry at Ling Xiao and tells the Zhou Siwei to attend the event as his representative, and also tells him to take that kid from yesterday with him. We then cut to our boy. Qianmo realizes he has not opened the brocade box that Elder Qin gave to him, and upon opening it, he finds an SSS rank skill book and a passive skill. He uses it and realizes that Elder Qin sealed it so that he can't use it during his advancement exam. He then upgrades his spirit level and adds the Murderous Wave and Lil Roy to his 2 new passive skill slots. He decides to open the other treasure chest in the Apocalypse continent and expresses his amusement at night. At increasing battle power by 20,000, the Oracle Bell rings 9 times to indicate Chammo's success in making a record, and it's the first time the bell has rung 9 times. This tells us that his record is the top among all the other mid-grade secret realms within Oracle University. The old man Ling, the president of Oracle University, is very happy to see his student make it to the top. Xiamo steps out of the portal, and the people start cheering, and the bright lights of the event make him wonder if there is some important event. The crowd cheers wildly for Qianmo, celebrating him as the youngest graduate in the history of the Xia country. Yet many viewers whisper in doubt, suspecting that the entire event is nothing more than a performance. Amidst the excitement, Chang Yuqiang, director of Moline University, strides toward Qiangmo with enthusiasm, explaining that he rushed over the moment he heard the news. Standing beside him, Director Wang introduces himself as the representative of Principal Fei Yingguang and apologizes sincerely on the principal's behalf for not being able to attend in person. In addition, the audience is in disbelief, astonished that the Fourth Awakening powerhouse, the principal of Blue Sky University himself, would have intended to come, but he didn't. Meanwhile, the broadcast viewership skyrockets past 5 million, breaking every record in the history of the capital TV station. At the same time, the station's director feels regret for not being informed about such an extraordinary event. As anticipation grows, his principal Ling arrives and the crowd parts instinctively to make way for him. He approaches Chiang Mai with a proud smile, while congratulating him on his incredible accomplishment before revealing the astonishing news. The ringing of the 9 bells, the announcement sends shivers down the spine of Wang Kaifu, director of Blue Sky University, who realizes that the ancient legends surrounding the Oracle Bell are real after all. Seizing the opportunity, Anchor announces that their live broadcast has just crossed 10 million viewers. She asks the teachers to explain the mystery of the Oracle Bell. Lei Jungi steps forward and explains that the bell was created by the first-generation principal of Oracle University and possesses a mystical ability to measure a student's potential. Whenever a student breaks a secret realm record, the bell rings, the number of chimes representing the speed and magnitude of their achievement. Throughout history, only a handful of students have managed to make it ring at all, usually just 2 or 3 times. Until today, the record of 6 bells belonged to none other than Principal Ling. Intrigued, Yuxiang asks Chenmo about his evaluation and completion time for the Second Awakening exam. Chenmo replies that his evaluation is SSS rank, though he's unsure of the exact timing. When Li Junji asks if he brought a helper, Janmo calmly says he completed everything alone, instantly earning the admiration of the broadcast viewers. At that moment, Senior Huaning Yu, the event's flower girl, walks forward with a bouquet in hand. Watching Qianmo, she silently vows to win him over no matter what, believing that all her efforts have led to this moment. Meanwhile, Luo Jingjing sits elsewhere in tears, frustrated about the blind date arranged by her grandfather. Regretting her decision to take the Second Awakening exam too soon, she suddenly receives a notification from the Capital TV broadcast, and freezes when she sees Chiang Mai's face on the screen. Back at the ceremony, La Junjie calls for silence and invites Wanting Yu to present the flowers. Chinmo feels a wave of discomfort as he realizes she is the flower girl, while she smirks inwardly, imagining his reaction when she makes her public confession. The students whisper excitedly about her beauty at night. She gracefully hands him the bouquet and congratulates him, just as she gathers the courage to confess. Jingjing bursts into the hall. Shanmo is stunned to see her and asks why she's there, but she ignores his question and runs into his arms, hugging him tightly as tears stream down her face. Between sobs, she asks if he's really the man her grandfather chose as her blind date, and why he never told her that he was accepted into Oracle University. University Principal Ling Fraunze, clearly irritated to see Jing clinging to Chammo in public, while the live broadcast explodes with reactions and comments. Chammo leans close to whisper a reminder for her to be careful. They're on camera and she should think about her image. Realizing this, Jing blushes furiously and quickly pushes him away. The directors of Blue Sky and Magic Spirit University turn to Principal Ling with questioning looks. He laughs awkwardly and calls it an accident, though inside, he's uneasy. He can't possibly confirm in public that Chiang Mai might one day become his grandson-in-law. Soon after, Lei Junji announces the end of the ceremony and invites the media and students to move to a classroom for an important announcement. Once the crowd disperses, Chanmo gently pats Jing's head, telling her to stop crying. She hits him playfully for teasing her before storming off in embarrassment. Watching her leave, Wanting Yu feels her confidence shatter, realizing she can't compete with Jing in any way. She fears she's about to become the laughingstock of the entire university.